Hey guys, I don't know if you can hear me or not. There's a lot of noise going on, so I am here though. So, uh, yeah, let me know if you can't hear me. Collier, go close that door, please. It doesn't need to be left open. What's up, Justin? Hey, I did get your email. I haven't responded to it yet because I haven't done my correspondence for today yet. But I am absolutely planning on responding to that here in a little bit. Hey, there's Samantha. Should go run our roadside stand. So that's kind of an answer there for you, Anthony. Say that you're on the fence about starting up or waiting, and times are very uncertain, and the worry about lost resources. Hey guys, can somebody comment if you can hear me? I'm feeling like with all this noise and everything, I'm having a hard time being heard. So I could be wrong, but you're saying times are very uncertain, and the worry about lost resources is very real. What has been the response that we have been seeing? Well, it's been tough. It's been a tough few days, that's for sure. Okay, great. Just want to make sure you got it. Good video, good sound. Good. Makes me happy. You guys are on my kitchen table, so you're going to be a little shaky today. Awesome. Thank you, Jerome. Anthony, to go into the response, like I said, it's been a tough few days. We have definitely lost most of our restaurants for right now. They're on hold. They're coming back, they say, as soon as things are calmed down. We do have a few doing takeout still. So what we've done is we contacted the old CSA that we used to sell through. We're back online with them starting today. We're doing a CSA. We're building one right now for delivery to Knoxville. People still got to eat. And people are wanting mushrooms now more than ever. So that's nice.
Mushroom juice in my eye.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh,
I
man.
pulled the bag off the shelf and it dripped and it hit the bar.
Oh, even through the glasses?
Yeah, around them and everything.
I'm sorry, man. The good news is, did it burn?
No.
Okay. Good news is, I've had that happen to me a million times.
So I'm not going to die.
No, you're not going to.
My pupils.
No. You should be safe. I've never had it do it where like it burnt. The kung flu is getting worse. I'm sorry, guys. It's going to be a little chaotic in the beginning here. What?
Can Brody and I play Minecraft on the Xbox?
Yes, you guys can absolutely play Minecraft on the Xbox. That's fine. Hey, as long as you're get your basics done, your chores. All right. Steven, I am not interested in coming to India right now. I'll tell you that right now. My business is definitely needing me right now here. So I am traveling for any of the consults that I have already planned for the end of the year. Thankfully, because of this warehouse build, I didn't actually have a whole lot of consults in the beginning other than phone consults. And so I'm still doing all of those. Now, real quick, going back to Anthony's question, we are doing a roadside stand, which we just started yesterday, and it did all right, considering that we didn't have hardly any advertisement going. Now we have advertisement going. I've got a lot of people that are planning on stopping by that roadside stand. It's just right in front of our warehouse. We get a lot of traffic right there in front of our warehouse, so should be. I think it's going to be a really nice spot. I've ordered pots and trays and all of the supplies to. I'm going to start doing the tomatoes and stuff right here in a little bit, but I'm working on all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be selling tomato plants in about 8 weeks, and then we have. Oh gosh, I don't remember how many thousands of tomato plants or tomato seeds I've already ordered. We'll have that right there to sell in front of our warehouse. We're doing our local CSA again. We're going to be doing, like I said, the one in Knoxville where we can have people order mushrooms online, and then we'll have a drop-off in Knoxville. We're doing the culture sales online, of course, which thankfully you guys are still buying. And I think that's great. Like I said, mushrooms are actually, I don't know, like I'm seeing a big spike in interest. And usually I see a big spike in interest, and then as that's the interest kind of is like slightly waning down, I'll see the big spike in sales. So as long as I'm having that stuff going too, we should be all right. So I'm not really that worried about it right now. I'm thinking that I'm going to have to do a little bit of fancy footwork for the first few weeks, but until we get until we get through the first few weeks, I think things will even out a little bit more. So right now, downstairs today, they're packing maitake, black poplar, chestnut mushrooms. We packed just like 1 or 2 bags of oysters. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love you. You be safe, baby. If you need anything, call me. Ben's at the warehouse. If you need anything, call him. All right. Love you, Collier. I saw that. Be safe. So right now, good news is I built my sales strategy the way that I have. I've built multiple streams of income. I've never relied solely on the mushrooms, though right now they're still paying for themselves. We're delaying production to the slower growing species, so everything's really working out really well. When we come out the other side of this, I think that we're going to be stronger than ever as a company. So I'm actually doing this really good for us because it's forcing me to make decisions early that I was already planning on doing but hadn't done because I was tired. I mean, I'm tired now. To be honest, trying to throw all this stuff together quickly is tiring, but it's good. So, what's up, Wayne? I'm glad to have a band hammer in here. Hey, Brandon from Lyons, Colorado here. Love your videos and all the educational information you've been putting out. Just curious, how much grain spawn do you use for a 12-pound bag? One 5-pound bag of grain spawn for us goes anywhere from 20 12-pound blocks to 50 12-pound blocks. If I want things to grow in slower, I do 50. If I want things to grow in faster, I do 20. So that should tell you there. We don't measure it. We just pour. We eyeball it. I'm hoping this will be more importance to local produce. Anthony, I am already seeing that, man. Big time. The problem is switching your sales gears. Like, I've seen a lot of guys, these guys who grew faster than I did. Like, a lot of these big guys started at the same time I did. And we made a conscious decision to stay in the basement as long as we could and grow really slowly and have a more direct relationship with our end users. And that has saved my butt. Can't cuss because it's still within 10 minutes. But if I want to stay monetized. But yeah, it has absolutely been some fancy footwork going on, just rearranging the sales strategy. But we're seeing a big spike in local and a very big interest in local. And Ben, starting up his fabrication shop, we're seeing a big spike already just in people interested in having things produced locally. So I think that's going to be good for Ben as well. What was cute, Enigma? Hey, Eric, you're very welcome. I hope I'm entertaining. Me personally, I'm drying so many mushrooms right now. Considering the proteins of mushrooms they're selling right now, at least I'm pushing them hard. Here in Louisiana, folks like to fry them a lot. Yeah, absolutely, guys. I've got a friend who runs a food truck. I'm thinking about seeing if he'll come and set up in my parking lot. And if he'll set up in my parking lot, I'll provide him with mushrooms. Let people try them right there. We get a lot of through traffic, and it's right. So what happens is you're driving down a hill to get to our warehouse. You have to hit a stop sign, and right across the street from the stop sign is our parking lot. And Samantha's sitting up there with a market tent, and she's just slinging mushrooms right there on the side of the road. So I did have to go through, and I ordered some more signage and advertising materials where we haven't done market in 2 years. Most of our stuff's old, tattered, not working right. So I had to go through and reorder a bunch of that stuff. Ordered about 1,200 stickers, that kind of stuff, just any kind of advertisement. And this is something I learned from my dad. When my dad, I asked him about the recession, how his business survived in 2008 during that crash. And I asked him this years ago, and he's always maintained that what he did was he just got out of the office and he went door to door and he hung little bags of advertising materials on people's doors, and he got tons of people going. I'm actually thinking about selling like pre-poured plates and doing stickers and like all kinds of stuff in the orders. And I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff going on that I'm thinking about doing to help diversify our income. And I mean, local production, domestic United States production, I think is going to go through the roof, which is why I'm not giving up like a lot of these big guys are. They went through distributors. They grew fast. I think that I actually never finished that thought. These guys grew fast when we grew slow. And Ben and I and Samantha, I kept telling them, I was like, guys, I just feel like we're, I really want to push hard into the distributor, just lean into what we're good at and get big fast. And what I'm seeing is a lot of these guys who got big fast are blowing out now. They're having to shut down. One of my friends said they lost 99% of his business in 4 hours. I'm still floating at about half my business right now. And as long as I can sit at half, I can keep limping along. So, and even then, if I can just sit at half for just a couple weeks, then I should be able to have the rest of my CSAs and everything else online and going. So morels be popping up soon. No coronavirus in the woods. There you go. I've got a lot of calls about morels right now and compost. and garden stuff. So there's a lot of that stuff going on right now.
Do they get brought to the warehouse?
I think it's in the back of the pickup. Hey, have Brody go out there in case he needs to climb into the back of it. It was either there or in the back seat, and have Brody that way you don't have to climb up in it. Oh, dude, I'm growing tons of dwarf tomato project varieties for the urban container gardener. Check them out. Yeah, absolutely. I love that stuff, the container stuff. Thankfully, where I live, everybody's got garden space, so I don't have to worry about doing container stuff. I got my plates about 30 minutes ago from Myco Mama. Nice, Wayne. Very good. Mango. Hello. After you cut the hole in the mushroom bag, how many days to harvest? About 10 days. It's right about 10 days. Your son, after you said you do your chores, he said, yes, sir. It was cute. Oh, gotcha. I understand. Hey, guys. There's If It's Fish. You guys recognize Jason, I'm sure. Or maybe you don't recognize him.
Probably don't see me very much.
Yeah, they don't. So, but anyways, that's If It's Fish.
Which was on the gram.
Your photo is on the gram, yeah. If you guys go check out Mossy Creek Mushrooms Instagram, you can see Jason looking all badass and Darth Vader-y. And I can...
Decay.
Huh?
Darth Decay.
Darth Decay. I love that.
On
Somebody did comment that? Oh, shit. I got to go check that out. Darth Decay. I like it. You look like a Death Eater with the skeleton stuff on there. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Brody's grabbing the tape.
Awesome. Yeah. He said, hey, it's Fish, a.k.a. the Wrench.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
The band hammer.
The band hammer. Well, thankfully, we got Wayne in here right now. That's what I figured. I figured Wayne would show up while you were working, so. I wasn't too scared to start up yet, but yeah. I'm thankful for the band hammers that we have. That's Venture. There we go. I always have a hard time with cameras and pointing. But that's my buddy. That's Jason's buddy now, actually. Could you do a video on how to make liquid culture? Did I not do a video on how to make liquid culture yet?
I thought you did.
I thought I did. I think that I've already done that, man. You might want to go check it out. What's up, Blemon? Glad to see you on. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. How's another restaurant closing down? So, thankfully, like, I was already expecting those guys, so that's actually not a loss.
Food truck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually what I was just telling them about, that I'm thinking about having Keith come down with the food truck if we can and do some sales right there out in the parking lot.
Cheesesteaks with fresh Mossy Creek mushrooms.
Man, he knows how to cook a cheesesteak too,
So
like
do I.
crazy. So, yeah, there we go. Maybe we do that. All right, okay, he's got your all steak. Thank you, Brody.
All right, back to the grind.
All right, thanks, guys. Let's see. Alan ordered golden oyster liquid culture from you, made an agar dish and grains one. It's expecting the mycelium to look similar to blue oyster, however, it looks more wispy. Should I be concerned? Golden oyster oftentimes is more wispy. It is. It almost looks more like a hericium wood than a oyster wood. They're very, very thin. So, but if you have any problems with it, like it doesn't fruit or anything like that, just let me know. I guarantee my liquid cultures. I test them all the time and everything. So, all? Justin says all. What's all? What's up, everyone? That's what Josh says. That was actually a brain fart. I tried to cover myself and I didn't do it very well. What's up, Josh? Fish, Drew, Sam, kids, howdy. What's up, Robert? All this is temporary. Cabin fever will kick in and people will be out spending like nothing ever happened in a month. I mean, I think it's going to leave its mark, Wayne. I really do. But I think that you're right that eventually people, you can't hold up forever. Now, maybe we'll do precautions going forward, but you know, it's crazy, man. My business is going to change, and it's going to change drastically, but it's going to change for the better. And it was steps I wanted to take already. And so, thankfully, all the work that I've done so far has kept me afloat through this. At least it's bought me some time to rearrange things. Like I said, a lot of guys, like one guy lost 99% of his business in 4 hours because he only sold to a few clients because he went big so fast. And thankfully, man, I worked on a slow but steady sales strategy. So Michael Terrestrial says, yes, it's on the video tab. Scroll down or search how to make liquid culture, and Andrew's beautiful mug shows up. Well, thank you for calling me beautiful. It's not something I hear with beautiful and Andrew, in the same sentence very often. Could you describe how to make water plates and how it works in cleaning up clones? Yeah, so water agar is very, very, very simple. You buy agar, use 10 grams agar for 500 milliliters of water. It can be tap water. It can be mineral spring water. It can be RO water. I find RO water works really well. You take that, put it in a flask, put your polyfill in, cap it with aluminum foil, cook it for 15 to 30 minutes at 15 psi. Pour it into your plates. You should do about 25 plates. And then you're talking let it cool, seal up your plates however you're going to hold them. Now, once you're done with that, when you're using it, you just transfer like you normally would transfer from agar to agar. You transfer to your water agar. And then the water agar, your mycelium will grow out. It'll look very thin. You may have a hard time seeing it. You may even see bacteria that you've been fighting or yeast or anything else start to grow out just a little bit around the chunk of agar that you put down that had nutrients in it. But the further away it gets, the slower that'll grow. Now, your water agar, as your mycelium is growing all across it, it's growing very anemically. It's searching for food. And as it grows out, let's say your bacteria grows out to about right there, the mycelium will just keep growing. Once it's out here, just cut and transfer to a new agar dish, a regular nutrified agar, and you're good to go. That's how easy water agar is, and it saves cultures like crazy. What is one thing you would change if you could go back in time? Do you mean in relation to more? Do you mean in relation to like what's going on right now with the business, or do you mean something like just in general? Hey guys, give me 1 second. Hey Steph, I'm doing a live stream. Everything okay? No, you're fine. I just wanted to pick up and make sure everything was okay. Can I call you back in a little bit? All right, thanks, Alan. Bye. All right, sorry, guys. So yeah, more. If you'll just tell me what you're thinking, I'll go into more detail, however you want. Oh my gosh! Stop playing, phone. I guess the phone called me to start going. So I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. Oh, for the all. Gotcha. So I got you more with my business, but do you mean what I would change in relation to the coronavirus, the economy slowing down? Do you mean in general, if I had known 10 years ago what I know now, would I have set up my business differently? That kind of stuff. Let me know what you're wanting from me, and I'll get into it. I was not concerned about the quality; just wanted to make sure I didn't screw something up. Oh no, it doesn't sound like you did, man. As far as wispy mycelium, gold is very common at that. Also, I really love how the Pathfinder mycelium smells. That is the sweetest smelling oyster I've ever come across. Though I will say, guys, one of these the mushrooms that I've bred recently, it smells even sweeter. But Alan, as far as the Pathfinder, I've always wanted to grow that across grain and then use that grain to brew some sort of beverage with, some sort of beer, right? And use that in some grain brewing because it smells so sweet. It would make such a unique flavor, that Pathfinder oyster. Have you ever spread grain spawn like morel spawn in the woods? Looking to inoculate secret patches. I have made and sold morel spawn to people, and they said they had success. I have never done it myself, and I have never seen their patches because they didn't want to show them to me. Either that or they were lying out their ass. So I don't know. I don't know how effective it is, but I have grown out. Morel spawn grows in fast. It's a good way to make money. I just don't like doing it because I can't say for sure, and I have no proof. And one of the best things about this video is seeing I can take you to my grow room. I can show you my strains. I'm not someone like liquidcultures.com or Organic Galaxy where they aren't mushroom growers. They're just selling liquid cultures somewhere else. I want to show you what I'm growing. I want to show you how I grow it. I want to provide you the same cultures that I'm doing, that kind of thing. That's why I'm a little bit more expensive, though, too, than those guys. I'm twice as expensive as liquidcultures.com and a little bit more expensive than Organic Galaxy. But it's because I develop new strains. I am commercially testing new strains. I have contacts with chefs. That's the development side of things. Not to mention that I maintain a large library. Awesome foundry pics on Instagram. Thank you, man. Are you guys going with a flat top to the grow room or a slanted roof style, like the dual doors? How many grow rooms are you planning that be? So there's 4 grow rooms that are going to be there. We're going with the flat roof. In fact, Ben put in the first layer of plastic for the roof last night with us over there. If you look at it, you can see him doing it. I say something on it's a Myco Miner is my Instagram. And if you go in there, I think my last post was talking about Ben and Keith building our murder room where it's all wrapped in easy to clean plastic. So that's kind of what we're planning there. And then 4 grow rooms, and we're going to do like I said, right now we're packing a lot of slow growing species like maitake, chestnuts, black poplar, etc. So as soon as I get my new shiitake culture in, I'll be starting with that one as well, though only a small amount because my infrastructure is not really set up for it. Daniel C, man, what's going on? Good seeing you, Andrew. The King Blue is growing so fast, but the chestnut is like, dude, chestnut is slow. It is a creeper. It is such a creeper. But yeah, King Blue, that's one of my favorite ones about it, man. That mushroom is a blitzkrieg mushroom. That thing grows in fast before you even know what's happened. You're overwhelmed. If I had to pick one between NNG, Pathfinder, and DeRitter for commercial, which would you recommend? Oh my gosh, man. You're picking 3 of my favorite strains for me to pick from? If I had to pick one and only one, I would pick the NNG. And that has more to do with sentimental reasons than anything else. I will say that Pathfinder is probably my most popular of those 3 with my chefs. So NNG is a little tougher than Pathfinder, but Pathfinder is a little bit better quality for eating in the texture of the stem. Now, the cap on NNG is one of the most delicious mushrooms I've ever tried in my entire life. It's not sweet like Pathfinder is. It's more savory. But the Pathfinder is the same texture from the edge of the cap all the way down. So it's more usable. And I think the chefs like that usability because it doesn't change textures once it goes all the way down to the core. Mango says, I wrapped a 3-section shelf with plastic. Where would you put the air holes to fruit mushrooms? I would put a couple in the top and a couple in the bottom. And I wouldn't do this for a real long time. In your living space or anything because you don't want to be getting spore lung or be sleeping with spores and that kind of stuff. I would do this for a short amount of time until you can get like a small fan and ventilation to pull that out. And you can drape the whole shelf and build like a Martha style grow and be exiting air and putting it outside your house, and you can grow mushrooms all in that big tent that you made with that shelf. And but yeah, I would if you're going to do holes in the beginning, I would do them along the top and along the bottom. That way, as warm air rises, it leaves, and as carbon dioxide and pulls that new air in with it, and as carbon dioxide grows and then it gets heavier and leaves, it'll pull fresh air in from the top. Kind of just creates a shotgun style, kind of like a shotgun terrarium. How would you set up your business up differently, knowing what you know now from 10 years ago? Okay, so you're not talking like coronavirus scare stuff. I gotcha. So when my business, the way it's set up now, is exactly what I would have changed 10 years ago. I spent a long time just figuring out and doing things very incorrectly till I finally learned how to do it the way we've done it. And that's a combination of working with other people, like in the Commercial Mushroom Growers Network, people like T.R. Davis, Eric Myers. There's a whole list of them, Eric Lohman. Oh my gosh, there's so many I can't even name. I would have gone liquid culture much sooner than what I did now. And I would have skipped straw very quickly, or I've only used it for just long enough to buy the infrastructure to do blocks. I also would have focused a lot more on infrastructure. In the very beginning, things that lower your labor bill are the most important things. So, whatever amplifies like if you do labor and like now you're going to buy something and it'll allow you to work for the same amount of time but do 10 times more, that's exactly the kind of stuff I would focus on. So I hope that helps. What do you think about Lenny Rockwell's H. Arenaceus strain he sells? Good growth. So I've not actually used Lenny's lion's mane, I don't think. Or if I have, it's been a long time. But Lenny usually has really good strains. I don't know. I'm trialing out like 10 different lion's mane right now, and I've got one that's looking really good. I like the way it's performing. I've got it in liquid culture right now. It's going to go live on the website in just a few days. Daniel C. says, hope you're all staying well over there. Are there any COVID cases popping up there? There was one in Jeff County, but they caught it really quick. They think they got him before he had just traveled internationally, so they knew to talk to him. So I think that we're probably pretty good right now. Sevierville, though, is one county over, and we do deliveries there. So it's a little bit scary because Sevierville's getting a few cases here and there just because it's such a tourist destination. But Tennessee is pretty resilient when it comes to this kind of stuff. We're not like crammed in on each other. We got a lot of space. There's already a very strong local movement here as far as like local production, people supporting local businesses. We're mainly Scots-Irish in this area, and Scots-Irish people are very distrustful of like large corporations, government intervention, and things like that. So it's kind of like 400 years of constant warfare the Scots-Irish lived under, 600 if you count all the times fighting Indians and British here in America, and then the Civil War and everything else. You know, I think it's created a paranoid personality of the people of this location. So maybe that's worked in our favor this once, right? Everybody thinks that people in Appalachia are dumb until there's an emergency, and then people in Appalachia are usually okay and insulated. Hey, Andrew and Samantha, I can't find the video where you said what kind of bags you use for colonizing and blocks. Where do you purchase yours? Thanks. So Seth Fisher, he's oftentimes on the chats here. MushroomMediaOnline.com is where I'm currently buying my bags. You can also get them from Eric Myers for about the same price. They both ship very quickly. Unicorn is the cheapest place to get it, but it's not much cheaper, and they're not always very fast. Sometimes they're very fast, and sometimes they're very slow. So I prefer getting mine right now from Seth Myers because he's given me the best deal so far. MushroomMediaOnline.com. Eric Myers of Myers Mushrooms is also a good source. For my fruiting blocks, I use the XLS series, the one with the 0.5 micron filter patch. I think it's XLS-A, but I could be wrong. And then for my spawn bags, I go to shroomsupply.com because I don't have to have in such high quantity. And they are just the large 0.2 micron filter patch bags from Shroom Supply. Jennifer, I hope that helps. Lance says the entire island, Kauai is a island in Hawaii. I got you. Goes into curfew tomorrow, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All restaurants, bars, nightclubs, parks on Oahu closed. No changes here on Maui. Grow your own everything. Absolutely, Lance. I mean, thankfully, we've always had a garden. I will tell you, this is the first year where I thought, I'm going to throw myself into this warehouse. I'm going to stop doing all this prepper shit. And, I'm going to stop focusing on my garden. I'm going to stop focusing on everything. I'm just going to lean into the mushrooms. And it's the 1 year that the emergency actually fucking happened. Man, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to stop the cussing, but I get wrapped into these conversations and the cussing just comes out. I'm trying to stop it. Boot camp really, ever since boot camp, I have had a hard time stopping cussing. So, I agree with grow your own everything, man. Do everything local the best you can. Create resilient systems. Every maximum optionality is my preparedness plan. Every decision I make makes it to where I have more options the next set of decisions. So if we have to bite the bullet now so I don't have to bite 3 later, that's what I do, right? I bite the bullet now. I make the sacrifice now, and I eat it on the short term so that in the long term, I have as many options available to me as possible. That's what I always do. And doing anything that you can locally, building a good old boy network around you, that's going to save your butt a lot of times. So with everything slowing down, support local fabricators like Ben, support local farms like us, support your local restaurants. Those kind of guys, those guys are the ones that are going to be there for you when the rest of the world isn't. So thanks. I have my shelf outside. Oh, Mango, you got it then. Okay, cool. Farmer Mac, the benefits of fungus is definitely among us. Good job, bro. You're always representing the fungi community well. Respect. Thank you very much, Mac. I appreciate that. Laugh my butt off, lol. Anthony, I'm not sure what we're laughing at, but I'm glad I could be entertaining. What's up, Dune? I heard that. Hello, Moss people. Did you get your tracking number yet, Dune? I think I sent that 2 days ago, and I didn't hear anything from you. So let me know if I'm wrong. Maybe I messed up on something. Brandon D. Davis says, starting my construction on my grow room today. Hey, congratulations, man. That's awesome. Welcome to Ragnarok. Super excited to get started with my mushroom growing. Have you ever heard of using an Arduino to automate airflow and humidity? Yes, I have. And I am a huge fan of automation. If you can get it to where it will program you to you, where it will go through your internet, your Wi-Fi connection, and email you or text you when something's out of whack, that's a great way to go. I love automation. Automation is amazing. Boot camp had an impact on my language as well. I completely understand. Yeah. What's funny is I do need a swear jar. You're absolutely right. What's funny is I do okay for the most part until I feel comfortable. And when I start feeling comfortable and I get excited, it comes out. And I don't know. I guess I'm just used to you guys being pretty forgiving of me. So I get pretty comfortable. I let my guard down. And then it comes in and bites me in the butt when I start cussing. Thankfully, I managed to hold it in for 10 minutes. So we should still be monetized for this live stream. But, is the way it is. Nothing in my inbox. Okay, dude, I'll get with you. I'll check it out, make sure. Love Arduino. Mossy TV Live. Yeah. I really want to get my CCTV system set up. I have Wi-Fi cameras everywhere, but I would love to get it to where I can give you guys access of grow rooms and everything else. I don't know, though, if Laura and Jason would like working, on display like a zoo all the time. Did you ship out any mugs this week? Grabbed one this past weekend. I did ship out some. I've got about half of the rest of them ready to ship. I've got them sitting there, ready to be packaged up and leave. So if you didn't get your tracking number yet, it is coming very, very soon. Really would like to know if you have plans available for your bagging machine. I don't yet, man. With all this coronavirus stuff and my business, losing like half my business over the past week, that's kind of on hold. Not to mention with the warehouse. So we're expanding, and my restaurants have either shut down or gone on hold. I've had to kind of put a lot of that kind of stuff on hold for right now. Anything not essential. It's coming. The plans will come, especially as we get everything like evened out. Jason, what can I do to help you, man? Okay.
Take a raise.
Take a raise? Not in this day and age, Jason. We make great pets. Who makes great pets? Oh, you're talking about, gotcha. I understand. Well, I don't make a good pet. I bite too much. Brandon says, I have plans to convert a bedroom into a grow room, but haven't set plans for a place for bags to grow out. Is it fine to have shelves of bags growing out around the house, or would there be too much CO2? I mean, that...
Spores.
Yeah, well, they're talking about like incubating. Yeah. So for incubating, I don't know. It depends on how much you're doing. If you're not doing that many, 20 blocks here and there, I wouldn't be that concerned with it. But if you're doing a lot, then yeah, you should set aside a separate place. You don't want to incubate in your grow room. I've done that before, and it can get real messy. Your contamination rate will shoot up. So, I would find a way to expel that air if you can. Now, what's cool is that if you can separate, like what we're able to do at the warehouse, you can separate your incubation air from your grow room air. The high CO2 load of the incubation room can be pumped into a greenhouse, which is something we're considering. The Robot Viking. Love the name. Yo, bro, what's good? Well, everything. The world is falling apart, and I still have coffee, so everything's good. Oh, man. Well, since there's a little bit of a lull, I'll let some comments build up, and I'm going to get started on potting up some tomatoes or planting the seeds. Got my handy-dandy trays, and I'm just going to do my little seed starting method. So, heck yeah, coffee. Not turkey tail today. I have some reishi. So I've started taking liquid culture and just squirting, like it's tested clean on agar, squirting liquid culture into my French press so that I get pure mycelium. No grain, right? No grain required. Getting like reishi, agaricon, turkey tail, Cordyceps militaris, and I just kind of alternate. So I've actually stopped doing most of my dry supplements, like the pills, and just started doing the liquid culture squirts right into my French press. Let it cook for 4 minutes in that boiling hot water, and then smash it down. So that's how I'm kind of making coffee right now out of the mycelium. I have considered getting into microgreens, and I'm considering it again. But the problem is I am tapped out as far as like a lot of expenditure cash goes with the warehouse. And so I wouldn't want to do it without the infrastructure. And I don't have the infrastructure for it yet. So I'm going to wait till things settle down a little bit. I'm going to keep doing what I'm good at, which is the mushrooms. Though, now that you mention it, I do have like 1,000 of these trays on the way. I probably could just go ahead and make some shelves. We've got the little greenhouse back porch we could use. I could probably rock it out pretty well with that. Hardline that stuff. You know what? That would be scary. I wouldn't want mycelium in my body like that. I hope I turn into a mushroom though. I want to become fungal in nature. Not really. I like being an animal. We're starting microgreens for personal use today. Very nice. So I do have a huge bag of black oil sunflower seeds, and I used to grow them for microgreens for myself. They cook up amazing. Probably going to start it up again. I have water spinach growing in my fish tank. You guys might be able to see it. Let's see. Right there. So I've got like water spinach, taro, starts. So water spinach, taro, papyrus. I've got all kinds of plants that I play with that will go out in my outdoor ponds, but don't survive the winter time here. So I bring them inside and put them in the fish tank, the guppy tank, and it's a swamp tank basically. And then I'll take all those, cut them up into pieces, throw them into the outdoor ponds with the goldfish, and then they grow like crazy. And then I've got like huge amounts of taro. The water spinach goes insane. And water spinach it grows really fast, it grows really well, and it's super delicious. So, and I can grow my snails outside in the tubs. I put those out in there, and then when it comes down to the fall, when it's time to harvest them, we bring them in and make aquatic escargot. Seems like they could be a bit compatible with the chefs. Yeah, absolutely. The problem is I've already got some microgreen growers in the area, but honestly, if I can do microgreens and mushrooms. Even just locally, I should be able to do that just fine, I think. So, hey, I'm colonizing brown rice with turkey tail mycelium right now to turn into capsules. Have you ever taken turkey tail that way? Yeah, I take the capsules all the time. That's actually what I'm trying to get away from because they're so expensive. And right now, it's all hands on deck as far as dollars go. So I've just started consuming the liquid culture. I did consider, and I haven't done this yet, growing rice cakes, like growing myceliated rice cakes, and then selling that as an actual farm fresh product. And so I haven't done that yet, but that's certainly what I am considering doing right now. All right, let me go grab some gloves and some like utensils, and I'll get started on these things, and I'll keep answering questions while we're going. So just give me a sec. What's up, man? Just doing a live stream and doing tomatoes. Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. Said you need food? Yeah. There is biscuits. Yeah, we got biscuits. The kids just ate buttered biscuits and jelly is what they were eating. There is some cans of smoked oysters and some fish and stuff if you want to fry some up or something. But okay. So, you got people saying hi to you. He said hello. Let's see. What country are you in again? I'm in the United States. I'm in East Tennessee. I have a few foraging and farmer friends in GR area and the Allegan County. No, I'm in East Tennessee. I don't know GR. That'd be like Ranger. I don't know what Allegan County is. Yeah, why are you writing to me in short form like I know what that is? Oh, snap, she's back. Well, welcome back, Mako Mama. Thank you so much for your walkthrough help yesterday. Much love, brother. Well, thank you. Thank you for being a Patreon supporter, too, Mako Mama. That, I feel like I neglect you sometimes. What varieties of tomatoes? Only kidding about the swear jar. Your passion shows, brother. Thank you very much. And no, man, I need a swear jar. My grandfather always raised me saying, Andrew, people who swear have nothing better to say. And I've always liked that, but I've not ever been able to handle it. So, unfortunately.
Sorry, you're not drinking life.
This guy said, I swear Ben reminds me of a druid. He is wise. I think, Ben is basically our spiritual advisor here. He goes into the ether so we don't have to. Oh, I got a super chat. Hey, thank you. Just think of expanding and trying to get into a CSA. What's your opinion on CSAs? Well, Miko, you may have missed it earlier. Do what? We just restarted going with the CSA we used to sell through. It's not ours. But we're also talking about building one for mushrooms only, mushroom products, kits, and things like that. And if we go forward with that, then we'll head out to Knoxville a certain time every week and do it. So, hey, we got a street sweeper out there. Might get a little noisy for just a second. And Mark, thank you very much for saying my passion shows. I really appreciate that. You thought I was in Michigan? No worries, man. Don't. It's not your bad. It's just what it is. I have brain farts all the time. No, I'm in East Tennessee, so I'm a Southern boy, kind of Central South. Are you drying mushrooms for storage or plan on it now? So we aren't right now. We will if we have any left over. But Samantha. Oh my gosh, Samantha is selling mushrooms on the roadside by our warehouse today. So, we did pretty decent yesterday for just throwing it together. I'm hoping today will be a little bit better. We're doing it through Saturday, and then we'll pause for Sunday, probably go back to it. I'll be doing it tomorrow since Samantha will be doing deliveries, or I'll do deliveries while Samantha's doing it. I would rather her do the deliveries because I just feel like it'd be a little bit better. I had a jar of mycelium that was grown with BRF method. It's been sitting for about 8 months now and is completely dried out. Do you think there's any chance of rehydrating and using the mic? Do what?
You know what BRF method is?
Brown rice flour.
I can hate you people.
Ben does not like when people use shorthand. He likes for people to type it out so everybody knows what's going on. No, I don't think there's much chance of you rehydrating it. And I mean, it depends on if it's really dried out for reals or just feels dried out on the outside. If it's still good on the inside, you might be able to rehydrate it. Throw it in a sink of water and see. I'm growing turkey tail, reishi, and agaricon on rice now, doing the Uncle Ben's tech. Liquid culture into sterilized, ready to eat rice packets. Okay, yeah, so that's exactly what I was talking about doing. And then making like rice and mycelium loaves that people then cook up and consume. I haven't tried it yet. I don't know what the taste is going to be. And if it's got awful, then I'll have to sell it in some other form. So, but I do have a bulk LC medicinal pack on the way to the website right now, and an eBay and our Amazon store that we just started. And as soon as we have that up, I'll announce that for you guys as well. So, Michael Mama, you are absolutely worth every penny. It's my pleasure and it's my honor. Well, thank you, Michael Mama. You're always so flatterous, so kind with your flattery. I really appreciate it. I love flattery.
Did all the bread get eaten yesterday?
Yeah, practically all of it.
Okay, let's throw it over.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben. Ben makes bread. It's wonderful. Let's see. I grew oyster mushrooms as a hobby for years. Never thought about farming the stuff until I saw Mossback. Plans are in motion to build a farm subgrade with HESCO barriers. What is a subgrade with HESCO barriers? Do you know what HESCO barriers are, Ben? Okay. I'm very interested in that. Thank you very much for saying that I was your inspiration. I really appreciate that. Taking donations now. Nah, I'm just playing. All right, guys. Well, let me get to some tomatoes while we're waiting on some more comments building up. And I will turn it so that way you guys are sure to not see Ben eating. I'd never have like people staring at me while I eat. Says, oh, subgrade as an underground and HESCO barriers are used for military bunkers. That sounds legit. I hope you take pictures and send them to me. I had a bucket, and I don't know where my bucket went. Found my bucket. Have you ever been to Colorado Telluride Mushroom Festival? Heard it's a blast. I have not. I've been to near there, but not during the festival. I've always wanted to go, but probably not this year now. So.
That's what we're thinking of going to.
No, that was the Maconda Mushroom Festival with Mike Hatfield. Gonna have to put a hold on that one too, though.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. Well, I was going to put a hold on it anyways with the build out, and plus we had a guy who signed up for a mentorship at around the same time period, so I wanted to be ready for him. So, good morning, Tyson. Welcome to the chat. Mango says I'm waiting for an LC of sporeless oyster mushroom strain. Hopefully, I can grow it in my house like a house plant. So it still produces spores, but not nearly as heavily. I did spore print it. I have no idea if they're fertile or not, but that's not gonna matter for you. Want just to grow it. I will say it was a pretty poor quality oyster when I grew it. So we're hoping that maybe we can spore print it and get the gene for it and breed it into some of our other oyster strains. Oh, that's great. It's all wet, I guess, and hooray. Well, I just made a big mess. Spore going good? Yeah, I thought I responded to that. I'm absolutely ready to take some orders on the baggers if you guys are wanting them. I'll get on there and make sure that I got your email, your second one. But yeah, man, as soon as I did send a response. I could have sworn I did, saying that asking you if you wanted me to send the invoice to that email address. If you'll check that for me, make sure I sent that. And if I didn't, then I didn't hit submit. And I've been having a bad habit doing that here recently, where I'm writing stuff out and I get in a hurry and then I don't hit send. So. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, you said you responded back. Okay, then I will go ahead and send your invoice, man, and we'll get it going. We'll get it started. I need a chick like yours. Mine throws a fit when doing gardening indoors. Well, you can't have her. I'm a little bit possessive. Nah, man. Samantha's always been really pragmatic
And tolerant of your bullshit.
and tolerant of my bullshit, for sure. Yeah, Samantha's always been really tolerant, a little too tolerant, actually.
What is that swear jar?
I don't have a swear jar made yet, so we can cuss for free still.
Fair enough.
Don't tell my kids about that swear jar, though. My kids get on to me about cussing all the time. I think it's funny,
As they should.
as they should. But yeah, man, Samantha's always been really like chill about my hobbies, my indoor. Like, this house didn't look like a house for the longest time. So Samantha's an absolute badass, and I am very lucky and blessed to have that woman in my life. So, good woman's hard to find.
Yeah, she's all right.
It's interesting is I feel like when a good woman, thanks, Ben. He said, yes, she's all right. I think that good good women are hard to find, but once you find them, I don't know that they're so hard to keep. It seems like they're pretty easy to keep. So, yeah, okay. Sport your own good. I may get on the computer in just a second while you're here with me, and go ahead and send you that invoice. So, lol, processed a deer head on the counter one time. Ex never forgave me. Apparently, since she's an ex. Man, that sucks. Yes, like if I've brought animals in the house before and skinned them. Samantha never had a problem with it. That back porch you guys have seen in my video, a buddy of mine and I dressed a whole hog right there on the back porch. Ben and I have done countless rabbits at this house, and Samantha's cooked them up and
Slaughtered a couple ducks.
slaughtered some ducks. Yeah. Now Samantha's always been super tolerant. She's always been really about like, making sure that we have whatever we need. I have a package I'm getting ready to send to you all. The oyster I found and the lion's mane. I don't have anyone else to have my moss back. Yeah, hey, send it. Send me some cultures. I'd love to try it. We'll grow it out, and I'll put it in long-term storage. So if you ever lose it, you let me know. Oh, yeah, free cuss time, huh? Good relationships are hard to find. Dude, I'd say that's very true. I'd say good men are hard to find, too. In fact, I feel like in my life I've met a lot more, like, worthy women than I have worthy men. Not saying that men are terrible or anything else. It's just, I don't know. I feel like men tend to congregate on the extremes. You either find a really, really good one or a really, really terrible one. Whereas I find a lot of women that are just good women. So, yeah, she sure is. Yeah, she really is badass. And then Tyson says good people are hard to find. You know what? We'll go with that. I like that.
Is it just Tyson or is that Mike Tyson?
No, it's not Mike Tyson. I mean, the picture doesn't look like Mike Tyson. It's Tyson Evans. So,
Okay.
I don't think we've ever had Mike Tyson on one of our live streams. No rush. I'd like the invoice, but I was concerning the pickup. I need to speak further with you about that. Yeah, man. We'll talk over that. We'll get the pickup taken care of. It's going to be easier over at the warehouse, anyways. And if you need to like delay or something like that, we've got space over there to actually hold it. So, yeah, Tyson said he's not Mike. So, hey, what's up, Yagdrasil? Welcome to the chat. Always good to have you back. My mom says, thank you so much. Y'all are the only ones I trust to keep it for me. Well, you're very welcome. I try to be a trustworthy person. I fail all the time, but it's usually due to neglect, not because I am a terrible person. Or at least that I'm not I don't try to be mean. Beware the toad. What? I don't get that reference, dude. Any suggestions on altering sterilization times for altitude? I live at about 9,500 above sea level. Ben, you got anything on that? I don't.
The only thing is that water is going to boil at a lower temperature.
So your water is going to boil at a lower temperature. So you have to increase the time?
Yeah, it's going to be fairly marginal.
Okay. So Ben's saying it's probably going to be pretty marginal. So shouldn't have to do too much.
I want to find out atmospheric pressure, what temperature the water actually boils, and then
Okay.
have an idea of what the actual difference is going to be.
Okay. Look up what temperature your water boils at your altitude, and then look up sterilization charts, and then adjust accordingly. I'm starting a new channel called Andrew Reed's Hair. It is glorious. This is the happiest I've ever been with my hair, my entire life. It drives me crazy. I don't think he likes the long hair. I did find out that I can whip it like a metalhead now. That's the longest my hair's ever been. My hobby oysters are from deep East Texas woods. I grow them in mulch-filled 5-gallon buckets, stack 3 high and 1-inch holes all over them. Never bothered with sterilization. Well, that's good. That's actually really, really good. If you start going commercial and working with supplemented substrates, like I've hardly ever had to sterilize just pellets like wood before. But once you add a nitrogen source, sterilization is useful. Oh, hey, meant to ask. On my Petri dishes, when wrapping with parafilm, I noticed after about 2 months they start to crack and there's a vector for contamination. Yes, I've had that issue plenty. Heat damage causes it to happen even faster. So what I found is just to wrap it twice. That usually helps a lot. And then keeping the dishes cool if possible. Also keeping them, if you take 3 or 4 dishes that have been parafilmed and then putting them in a Ziploc baggie, that helps keep them going for a long time. You're going bald, so you're jealous? Yeah, I'm afraid that's going to happen to me. I've got a grandfather that's bald and went bald early, so I'm thinking it may happen to me. I don't know. My dad's got a full set of hair right now.
Are they saying you're jealous or I'm jealous?
He's saying the Saltine's saying he's jealous.
Oh, he's jealous.
Yeah, he's jealous.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of my grandfathers, my mother's father, had a full head of hair till he was dead, and then just to be clear,
I'm fine with my bald spot.
You're fine with your bald spot. Yeah, but Ben's so tall, people rarely see his bald spot. That's why he's okay with it. The manual for the All-American Pressure Cookers has a nice chart on the effects of altitude on time. Should be available online. Nice. Okay, there we go, guys. Yeah, check that out. It comes from your mom's side. Well, then, if that's the case, then I'm safe. In that case, I'll have a full head of hair till the day I die and a glorious white beard. That'd be nice. There's mason jars over there on that shelf under the paint. In the dishwasher, probably. That is the one I've been drinking out of. I said the dishwasher, man.
Yeah, it's running.
Well, you can open it and restart it. There you go. Yeah, Brandon. Hopefully that gets you taken care of. Sterilization is what, you have to figure all that kind of stuff out. We just kind of winged it, really. We looked up the charts and then went with it and then kind of took some readings and kind of didn't and then just kind of guessed from there. So. What's up, Jason?
Everybody broke out with
What are you planting on the laptop there?
Apparently, I'm planning on the laptop. I was trying to pour it, and I spilled the vermiculite all over the keyboard and everything. So, what, Ben?
I said, and then everybody broke out with the Neurospora. We just upped our times.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There was a big Neurospora outbreak for a long time where people were getting Neurospora everywhere in their mushroom ops when everybody was figuring that stuff out. Thank you, Jason. And when that happened, we just upped our cook times, and that got rid of we never had the Neurospora problem like everybody else did. The big ops were struggling with it for a long time. So, yes, Jagger, so I got your email. You probably missed that earlier. I haven't had a chance to go through my correspondence yet today. So I will be getting to those in the evening instead of the morning today. But I got it yesterday, and I read it. I appreciate you sending that to me. And I will have you a response written up tonight. They claim our situation has – did you guys hear about the hair – what? Claim our situation has – did you guys hear about the hairstylist that was taking people's hair and making voodoo dolls? Apparently it was working. People get sick and have pain that led back to him. What? Sorry, I got 2 messages mixed up, but the voodoo is real. I'm so confused, man. I don't know what's real.
Voodoo's real if you believe in it.
That's right.
Just like only Catholics can be possessed by demons.
Hey, there you go.
If you believe in something hard enough, you can manifest it. So if you believe in somebody put a voodoo curse on you,
then you can have a voodoo curse.
Bad things can happen to you.
There you go.
Don't believe in it. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I've never had a voodoo curse that worked on me that I know of. Let's see.
Remember that time you stubbed your toe?
I do remember that time I stubbed my toe.
That's because I was stubbing the toe on the doll that day.
Oh my god. Do you remember that time I stubbed your toe? No, hey man, I started doing a little mushroom growing at home, but I keep getting stuff contaminated. Any advice? I'm on a budget. That is such an open-ended question. I don't even know where to begin. There are so many vectors that can go into that. At what point are you having contamination? And narrow it down for me a little bit.
We are done for today.
You guys are done?
We will need all the cleaning supplies from the foundry
Okay.
for tomorrow.
I will try to get all that stuff tonight. I'll send a message to Samantha.
If not, we can run over there first thing.
That's what I was going to say. We can just grab it if we need to.
Now, speaking of, is the pressure washer still dead?
Yes, the electric pressure washer is dead. I killed it last night. So,
Well, we'll have to see about getting another hose.
yes, I will work on that.
What the hose get kinked on you?
What happened was it never cut off. Like, I don't know if you noticed where it's been like not turning off and stuff. It wouldn't turn off, and it just kept building up pressure until it blew out, and it like dented the metal hookup.
Oh wow.
Like it barely missed my head, and because I was looking at it like that, and it just right off, almost hit me in the face. So
Well, better you than me.
I agree. I'll pay for my medical bills. I don't want to have to pay for yours. Now, all right, yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning. Thank you for the good work.
We will plant and clean
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Sounds good.
We're not doing that lab, right?
Not tomorrow.
I was gonna say there's no place space at all.
No, yeah, we're not doing lab tomorrow. So, all right, man. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Jason.
Take it easy, good.
You guys.
All right. Would you suggest sterilizing agar in glass petri dishes or just doing a batch in a flask and pouring? I mean, I do it in a flask and pour it, so that's the way I would suggest doing it. Voodoo do. The science of this will be interesting. I never used culture, just keep feeding the mycelium with fresh mulch. Building a culture lab will be fun. Heck yeah, man, it's a really good time. I did mother patches for a long time. That worked really well, especially with wine cap. I had a wine cap patch that Samantha and I would go dig a hole in the patch and then bag it up, and it was like lasagna gardened, and then we would go to market. We would sell wine cap mothers to people, and you just fill the hole in with sawdust, and then cap it with cow manure compost, and that was pretty much it. Like they took off like crazy, and we sold them $20 a bag, and we would just refill the hole, wet it down, and dig other holes, and then that side would be, by near the end of the year, they'd be ready to go again. So, are you doing seed starter? Just a tip. I take granulated gypsum, 1 tablespoon to a half gallon for first watering, especially for beans and peas. Why? What does that do? Do you need help with indoor grow in tubs? HMU, and I have a couple tips too. Which HMU? I don't know. So I do a soilless seed starter mix, and I've been doing this for years. And then I use hydroponic nutrients for my seedlings in the first few weeks of life, and then we do. After that, we'll take them to soil and in big plastic pots. This year I'm doing more than I ever have, though, because I'm getting ready for a good garden season and selling the plants to help out with business in a few weeks. So I have avocado trees, and one growing in a Dutch bucket system grew 12 feet tall in a couple of years. Last year it was covered in mushrooms, so there was an obvious symbiotic relationship working. That's cool. Planning on getting spores when it refruits. Very nice. That'd be neat. Yeah, let me know what that is. I just ended up finding my mycelium contaminated, so I don't know if I'm not sterilizing long enough in my pressure cooker or if it happens after, and I don't know how to narrow it down to find out. Okay, so Thomas, what I mean where is it in a bag? Is it in a fruiting block? Is it in a grain spawn bag? Is it in a master jar? Is it in your liquid culture, petri dishes? Like, each one is going to have a different contamination vector that's going to be more common than not. So that's what I mean by narrowing it down, is we need to look at what your steps you're going through and whether or not there's any process we can. Crane jars. Okay. If you're, I cook my grain jars at 2.5 hours at 15 PSI, primarily because everyone else who was only doing it for a short period never really thought or never had. They said that they were cooking theirs for like an hour and they were having really good results, and I didn't really start having really good results until I started cooking for 2.5 hours. Sorry, I got some people on my sales post. That is not the appropriate answer that I would expect. Daniel, are you messaging me right now? I'll have to get back to that. All right. Saltine I have. Truffles are just too much of a crapshoot, and a lot of money up front. And you never know if you're really going to make your money back. And I know a lot of people who've worked in truffles who have never gotten their money back. So I stay away from that stuff just because of that. You've been doing 1 hour? Try upping it to 2 or 2.5 hours. Be careful of how hot you're running. And make sure there's plenty of water in there to last that long, or you'll bust your jars. But yeah, that's the way I would go. So hydroponic nutrients, same as gypsum. You're saying that instead of my hydroponic nutrients, the gypsum would be what I would use? Oh, man, my glass jar is all dirty. Yeah, you're welcome. Let me know how it works for you. You ever?
You need it from the store?
I don't think I need anything from the store. All that stocking up we did, I think we're pretty good for a while.
Right.
Have you ever had a liquid culture that contaminated 75% of the grain jars, but 25% were clean? Do you think this is improper sterilization of the grain jars or an issue with the liquid culture? If it was the liquid culture, everything would be dirty. So it sounds like improper sterilization to me. So, maybe up your cook time. I don't know. People always lowered their cook times and their pressure and saying that they wanted to not have caramelization of their sugars. But as far as I can tell, the caramelization of sugars affecting mycelium in any significant way is pretty BS. People keep talking about it, and they always have proof, until they don't.
So here's the deal.
So Ben's got it.
We've forgotten to turn off the steamer.
So
2 days?
Yeah, we forgot to turn the steamer off for 2 days a couple times.
And everything ran just fine.
Yeah, and everything came out just fine. So I've never had that problem of caramelization of sugars with it. In fact, we've talked to a bunch of other people that have run into the same thing. So, and I didn't notice any significant delays in our growth or anything else.
Yeah. And I mean, even beyond that, when you cook and then you have an uneven cool off, and you have the core blocking the core,
right?
So they stay at a much more gradual temperature decline.
Right.
I just don't buy it.
I don't buy it either. I think the caramelization thing's bunk. Finally got TP back in our area, huh? Nice. I've not been to the store in 2 or 3 days, so I don't actually know what's going on. I think Ben went earlier, or are you going to head to the first one now?
Yeah, I went to Walmart over there. I'm going to Lowe's now.
Do they have any? They look like a madhouse anymore?
No, it didn't look bad.
Okay.
I didn't go through that aisle.
Right. I figured things would stabilize pretty quick. Nobody likes losing money if they don't have to.
Yeah.
Speaking of caramelization, remember I said I had to double check LC because I forgot the magnetic stir? So far, even the double cooked LC jars are doing well. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you forgot it. So you ended up putting that in and reusing the LC, and they're doing just fine. Okay. I didn't think that cooking it twice would actually be a problem. So I'm glad to hear that I didn't steer you too wrong on that. So heck yeah.
What time are you thinking to be heading over?
It kind of depends on how long this takes me. I'm not entirely sure. Do you need me over there?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
I wouldn't expect me for another 2 or 3 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not rushing you out of this order.
Okay.
You bringing monsters with you?
Yeah, I'll have to bring the monsters with me if I go. Is Collier over there helping you?
Not yet.
Okay.
He's there with Sam.
Okay.
When I come back, then I'll put him to work.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you for checking in on her too.
Do you want this?
You can just leave it there. I'll eat it.
Okay.
Thanks. They have armed guards on your cleaning supplies and paper towel row in Walmart because they were fist fighting last week. Oh my gosh. We had a couple fights, but nothing big.
I did see security walking through.
You did see security?
Just not something I'm used to.
Okay, so we do have security going. All right. Dang. It's Ragnarok, guys. I hope you're all prepared to go out fighting. I've heard you can overcook rye grain spawn, so always stuck to 2.5 hours, 15 psi for quart jars, but also didn't adjust for altitude. So you can overcook grain, but it's really the grain bursting, getting too soft and then busting up, and that's pretty much the problem you've got there. So yeah, Ragnarok. Look, it's time to turn on some Mana War and go out bravely. See you, Ben. Yeah, that's why I use oats, because I can cook them to death, and I never have to worry about that. What's up, Mr. Mushman? Hello back. Hey, that's enough. Why is burst grain bad? Because the reason why you use grain spawn for growing mycelium out is that, and this vermiculite got wet, and it is a pain to deal with right now. The reason why you use grain spawn in the first place is because whole grains have the seed hull on them. The seed hull doesn't contaminate very easily, and because the seed hull doesn't contaminate very easily, you get to use a very nutritious substrate to grow your spawn on without the higher risk of contamination. When you burst open grain, like using cracked corn or anything like that, you run a higher risk of allowing contamination to develop on your spawn. Now, spawn is almost never fully 100% clean. It is usually like you're just running faster than the contaminant organisms are able to run. So really what you're trying to do is kill off most of everything, put your spawn in, grow it out faster. You're robbing the outside of nutrients so that things aren't able to grow as easily. And then every time you transfer, the mycelium can dig down deep into the grain, and every time you transfer, you're able to run a little bit faster than most of your contaminating organisms would do. Mana War, boy, that takes me back. Kings of Metal. Yeah, I love me some Mana War, man. I'm not a huge metalhead by any means, but I love me some Mana War. This is why you prep. It's not because the world will end. It's because people freak out over everything and overreact. I absolutely agree. Yeah, man, it's just insurance. Just a little bit of insurance. That's all you need. I'm not looking to survive the end of the world by myself. I'm not looking for any of that kind of stuff. I have some food put back and some, heck, I have guns just because I have guns, but I have everything I need. Coffee, and I have mate. If my coffee runs out, it's a lot easier to come off coffee or mate than it is coffee. And it's a lot easier to come off coffee when you've got mate. So, one of those things that just try to keep it on there. Keep stocked up. Speaking of caramelization, I caramelized the honey for a batch of mead. Delicious. Oh, that sounds delicious. I'm going to have to try that. Finally, I'm home and here. Hello, Mossbacks. What's up, Miser? No 3 hydro and Jip pretty much do the same for the seeds. Oh, okay, I got you. Mycelium is greater than contams. Absolutely. Hey, Ben Dooling, do you have any recommendations on HEPA filter supplier? I want a big boy, but looks like the filter itself will be like $1,300 with shipping and Airflow Tech or Fungi. That's the one thing I wouldn't skimp on, man. Get it from Fungi Perfecti. That's the only one I can really recommend because it's the only one I've used. But I've heard Airflow Science, is it Air Science? It sells really good. And I think they're out of Florida. I know some guys that use the Air Science cabinets and they really like them. I'm planning on just buying one from Fungi for the new lab. So mainly because now because it's an American manufacturer, I have a loading dock now, so I can have it shipped to me and not have to pay the exorbitant cost, and I don't have to have liftgate service or anything like that. So yeah, that's what I would buy it from them, just because that's who I would recommend, just because that's who I've gotten it from before. That's who I plan on buying it again from. I could build my own, and I could do all kinds of other stuff, but why take all that time whenever it's going to be expensive anyways? You know what I'm saying? So let me grab this peat moss, and I'll be right back. Actually, let me... Caramelized sugar has to be like 400 degrees or more, but cooking things helps break it down so it's easier to use by the mycelium. Opens up the sugar versus caramelized. Interesting idea. Tyler Butts. My chat keeps freaking out. Hey, just looking for some words of wisdom. I am just starting my business and have 35-pound bags of spawn that will be fully colonized in staggered time frames over the next few weeks. Looking to fruit 200-ish 8-pound bags to start. Hold on one second while I beat me some children. Don't like yelling. All right. Let's see, where were we? My hands are all filthy now. Looking to... Okay, well, I'll get to that. What about a monomarth? Surterizing. Yes, a monomarth's good in small doses. Guys, I can only, like... If it's like, you know, like crazy stuff, I can't take that. My head is already so busy and ADD-ish that it's like the metal just makes my ADD go harder. Looking to fruit 200-ish 8-pound bags to start. King Oyster Blue Lion's Mane. I'm planning to approach restaurants with samples from the first grow, but I'm afraid that there won't be any open once the time comes. Would you hold back on fruiting or just go for it and hope for the best? I'm in Saskatchewan, Canada, and would be the first mushroom cultivator in the province. You sure you'd be the first one in Saskatchewan? I thought there were some other guys up there. Where is Bradford Coons located at? I'll tell you what. Let me grab this peat moss and think about your question for a second, because I don't know Canadian markets very well. All right, so I'm thinking that what I would do is start off slow. And if you can't hear me, let me know. But I think I would just start off slower and just ease into it in this situation right here. I don't know how many of your restaurants are going to be closed right now. So because of the coronavirus scare. So it might be good, like I said, to ease into it. However, there's probably still some doing takeout. I don't know how open everyone's going to be to trying something new on takeout menus with all this stuff going. So instead, what I think that I would do if I were in your situation, and again, this could be very wrong. This is just me spitballing here. I think I'd set up a roadside stand or a parking lot stand, or see if you can get permission to set up somewhere and just try to sling some. And you sure approach all the restaurants you can, but just know that, you know, it's going to be a crapshoot. You already have these bags paid for, right? You've already grown them. You're not adding much cost by fruiting them out. Worst comes to worst, you'll throw some mushrooms away, or you'll dry them and save them for yourself for soups. So, you know, 200 8-pound bags, it's a lot of mushrooms. Maybe stagger it the best you can. And Like I said, contact CSAs in your area and sell to those. CSAs are booming right now. Contact, at least in my area, they are. Maybe start your own CSA. Start a targeted Facebook campaign for your area and hit people that are local, and play around with the Facebook targeting. It's absolutely sorry, I saw someone said spanking sounds emanate from the living room. I actually don't like spankings at all. I always do. We do plank, dead bug, wall sits, things like that for whenever they get really bad. But most of the time, they just need a reminder that they're behaving inappropriately. My kids are pretty well behaved for the most part. Consequence of homeschooling for so long, I think, even though we do public school now, or have been. I may have over waterified my mix here. But anyways, that's what I would do. So I recommend buying the hood prefabricated. I do, just because it's one less headache you have to deal with. And, it's better just to have something that works for your first one, and then go work your way into building one or something. I mean, that is what I would recommend. What's up, Daryl? Where do you get bulk oats? I've been working with millet, but would like to try oats since you said it's the best. In my opinion, your Farmers Co-op, Tractor Supply, Rural King, those kind of places always have whole oats. That seems ridiculous for a HEPA filter. I just ordered a 24 by 36 by 6 from Fungi Perfecti with shipping for $4.40. That seems ridiculous. I'm sorry, Brandon. I must be missing what's going on. The spanking sounds, yeah. Embrace the ad. What ad? Daryl Wise said, so this is social distancing. You mean the live stream? Or you watching me? Do you know how much Spawn would approach full supplementation in plain sawdust? I remember seeing it in Stamets' book, but can't find the reference. No, off the top of my head, I don't. You would have to look at, if you're whatever spawn type you're using, like oats, look up your total nitrogen content, and then you'd have to follow whatever formula to find out the percentage of nitrogen you would need. So you'd have to figure then out how much oats you're going to have to use for the sawdust block based on your target weight. Your Shark Ben's not building the new one for the new lab. He would. And we talked about it. But I have a very limited amount of time. Ben took a week off work to build out this warehouse. And I decided I would rather just use the hood that I've got, ease into buying the new one, and then we would just go from there. And I mean, if it comes down to the fact that whenever we get there, Ben's got more time, then we'll do that. But I'm trying to use Ben where Ben's best on limited amount of time. Dune says Yggdrasil at Amon Amarth is Viking metal for sure. Yeah, for sure. The first in Saskatoon selling gourmet varieties. So I don't know what Saskatoon is. So is that the city, town, or something? Is Fungi Perfecti a good place to order strains? I don't think so. I think they're a terrible place to get strains. CSA means community supported agriculture. Basically, people would pay a subscription, and then you drop off boxes. And it is a great way. Google it, but it's a great way to do farming. You're very welcome, Tyler. I hope that helps. Kevin Late, what are you working on there? I am making a seedless starter mix, and I have over-soaked it. But it is a peat moss, perlite, vermiculite mix, and then I use hydroponic nutrients to water my seedlings. And we normally do tomato plants for ourselves, peppers and the like, but I'm doing bulk this year because all this coronavirus, if this grinds on for a year like they're talking about doing, putting us in lockdown for a year, people are going to go garden crazy. So I'm prepping for in a few weeks, which I've sold tomato plants before, guys. I made 2 years ago, I think I made about 10 grand just selling tomato plants off my back porch. I just put a sign up on the highway, like a yard sale sign. And I made 10, 15 grand, something like that. just selling tomato plants. So it's a good way to go. I am going to have to get my certification, so I'm going to go ahead and apply for that now for my hobbyist greenhouse certification. Mick, ADD means attention deficit disorder, or meditate. Yeah, I mean, I do meditate, and it helps. Daryl, TR didn't just slow down, man. He basically shuttered. Right now, he's just in, like, he lost 99% of his business in 4 hours. 4 hours, like, in 4 hours, he went from having distributors and block clients and everything else to 4 hours later, like, nothing. So, yeah, he's hurting. He's hurting right now, man. I saw that video, and I feel for him. Like, I've been to that op. I've been to TR's place. I love TR to death. He and I have kind of bickered back and forth a couple times, but he's a good guy with a good heart, and that's just, man, I feel for him. I am really thankful that I have focused so hard on knowing my end user and selling to my end user. So, because that saved my butt right now, because I'm limping right now. We've been hit, but I'm limping. A lot of these guys that I know that started around the same time I did, guys that taught me a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of them focused on distributors and getting like single clients that have a bigger paycheck, you know, and they just wanted to grow mushrooms, and then they sold their mushrooms for cheap or their blocks or whatever. And a lot of those guys are really, really hurting. And I'm thankful that I sell directly to the chefs, because I at least get to pocket that distributor's difference. Magamom, I need my boys beat. Found not so good stuff on their phones. Voice stuff. Might need your help beating that out. Well, I'm not beating somebody else, but we can that's somebody else's kids. But I'll certainly run them through some PT if you want me to run them through PT. Get them doing some planks. My my second boy, I think he can do I think he did like a 15-minute plank. This was not even part of a punishment. This was my friend was running them through their paces just to see. They were trying to see who could do the longest plank, and my youngest boy did it with like 15 minutes. My oldest boy can't do like a 3-minute plank, but he's on track and he can run like crazy. My middle son's built like I am, real thick around the middle, not a runner's build. You know, the kind of guy you want covering your retreat, but not the guy who's going to be making the retreat with you. So, but yeah, we can run them through some of their paces, Michael Mama. Though, here's the thing, you know, like, I mean, boys will be boys. Did you know? Yeah, it's definitely due to the coronavirus, man. He lost so much, man. TR's, man. He's suffering. It hurts me, but he will survive. He'll be fine. It's his business, his people. I mean, that's what I've been worried about, guys. I couldn't sleep all night last night, because what if I'm wrong? You know, what if I am making the wrong decisions pushing through this? What if I'm wrong spending money reinvesting in the business, thinking that I'm going to, you know, fail later, and then I have to lay off my employees, all of which have kids. Like, I've got kids' mouths, you know, relying on me, their bellies and stuff. I feel bad. Like, I don't want to mess this up. I want to make the right decisions. I can't stop thinking about this stuff. But right now, the decisions I've made in the past for exactly this kind of stuff, to be resilient, are paying off. So I'm really hoping that the decisions I make now will be the same way. Thank you, past Andrew, for taking care of present Andrew. And present Andrew, be careful to take care of future Andrew. Andrew, I meant asking you there the other day if you're still planning to have some of us data sample together. If so, do you have printable sheets anywhere? I will talk to Samantha to see if she's got those ready. Like I said, it's been all hands on deck. Everything's kind of been put on hold, but I am still wanting to do data samples. So I know Samantha's been working on spreadsheets. I don't know if she's finished them. There are 3 other cultivars in that province. Okay. In the Saskatchewan province? Yeah, Daryl, it's been bad. Have you ever considered getting certified as organic? Not on my life. Not on your life. Nope, I don't like organic. I stay as far away from organic as I possibly can. Add more vermiculite? I did, but my vermiculite's soaking wet, so it's not going to soak up the water. The peat moss is dry, so we'll go add a cup of that. You think I could sterilize like 3 works worth of bags and keep them on shelves in the lab to inoculate 3 weeks later? I've had blocks that I sterilized and it's put in the lab stay good for a year. So possibly. You will lose some though. So there's some of that. You will have a higher loss rate. Most likely. You will most likely have a higher loss rate. But you can do it for sure. What I'm doing right now is having my guys run stuff through and focusing more on my high-value specialties that are slower growing, rather than, and I'm slowing down on my oysters just a little bit. So today, we would normally pack 75% oysters and 25% specialties, and today we flipped that. We did 25% oysters and 75% of the specialties. So tough times make tough people. Adapt and overcome. You got this, bro. Well, I appreciate that, man. I'm hoping we've definitely got it. So, if magic mushrooms are legal soon, we'll grow them. The spice must flow. If they were legal, I would grow them all day long, just because. And I'm sure that they'd be highly regulated. I don't have any problem with them personally. The reason why I stay so far away from them right now is because they're illegal. And Tennessee is, Tennessee's very conservative. So I stay as far away. Like just having tattoos in East Tennessee, Jason can attest to this, is enough to get you some weird looks. Hey, and Jason's on. Especially Jason's tattoos, like that loose screw on his head and stuff. But yeah, just having tattoos will get you, more scrutiny. And then now that that's going away, I'll go and get mushroom tattoos and an octopus on my leg. Thankfully, they don't see that one very often, but the mushrooms definitely get me some weird looks sometimes. So, what's up, Jason? Thank you for coming on, man. Donate your life savings to Mossy Creek mushrooms? I'm kidding. Okay, maybe not. Nobody needs to donate their life savings to me, guys. I appreciate it. I will do all the business with me you want, but I will. I do not want your life savings. Do not go hungry for me. I appreciate the thought, though, and the sentiment, Saltine. It is all hands on deck, and I do appreciate you guys looking out for me. And I appreciate you. Like, apparently, there's a lot more guys home cultivating because I am doing I'm still selling cultures. So, you guys who are buying my cultures and my strains and these new things that are coming, you guys are saving my butt right now compared to a lot of guys. So, why are you against going organic? Seems like a good way to advertise and sell product. So, mushrooms are already a niche product. And most people I know who go organic can't really charge much more of a high price. There's already a shortage of mushrooms. Why in the world would you try to charge an even higher price whenever they're already expensive? You already have to have that good quality product. Not to mention that there's no point in really going organic. Mushrooms don't tolerate pesticides very well. Most pesticides. And so you have to, if it's not safe for you, it's not safe for them, because fungus is so much like us. And so it's one of those things where you really just, I don't know, it just doesn't make a difference, and it's just, I don't like it. Plus, organic pesticides are oftentimes more toxic than the more traditional pesticides used. So I just stay away from organic as much as possible. Plus, man, the auditors, it's a flipping racket. Dude, your hair is epic. Thank you. Feels like it's a mess right now. All hair on deck. You're welcome. Time to think damage per second, not total damage. Hit them from all angles. That's very true, Robert. Absolutely. DPS is the way to think about all this stuff right now. You find that lion's mane strain you were looking for yet? I have found one I really like. It's in liquid culture right now. It's growing in. As soon as it's ready, I'll put it on the website. I need to go ahead and put that medicinal bulk pack on because I could probably be selling the crap out of it. I'm selling reishi strains for sure, but on culture plates, I need to put it on my liquid culture side. How often should I fan? How often should you fan what? What are you fanning? I got planked. Does that count? You got planked like growing up or what? Yeah, this is definitely a different color than the other stuff I was making. Crap. I forgot to add the crap to all this, the cow manure compost. Dang it. Well, I can at least scoop out that batch. I can sprinkle it on the other side. Organic mass production is just as bad for the environment as conventional. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it as well. Be right back. I can actually see you still from here. Growing in a box, fanning the silly mushrooms. Well, I don't have a lot of experience with that, so can't really tell you much. I assume it would be similar to oysters, but I don't know. Without a heat source or imported grains, can I use my chicken manure as a nitrogen source and wood ash to sterilize? For manure lovers, certainly. Winecap loves chicken poop. But other than that, for like oysters or something, I have no idea. And I just remembered why I didn't add the cow manure compost to this. This is my seed germination trays, not my start trays. My start trays are the ones that get the cow manure. So, oh well. I've already added it. I'm totally joking about beating them. They do heavy PT. I make them go out and chop down beetle killed trees the old way. TR will be okay. You'll be okay. As business owners, it does keep us up at night. It's because we care that we survive. You're making the right moves. I think I am. I really do. Even if I have to get creative, even if we have to take a pause for like a week or two, I don't think that I'm in the biggest danger compared to a lot of people. I think that I've just got to make it for a few weeks and be creative, and I'll come out the other side much better. And a lot of these other guys that are shutting down are going to have a harder time starting back up. And so I think it's better to go now while the getting's good than to shut down. So the hard part of being a business owner sometimes it's so hard to make that decision, especially when you have made friends with your employees. Yeah, man, I love Jason. I love Laura. I love Robin and Melanie. I love their kids. Like, I meet their kids. I like them, you know. I don't want anybody going hungry because I didn't do enough. So I am doing my best for them. That said, I think that all of us would be okay, even if we had to take a week or two off or anything else like that. It's we'd all look out for each other still, even if we're not in business because I knew Jason before. I met him through fish trades and stuff before he and I got started growing mushrooms together. So, did you have to get a certification from the health department to sell your mushrooms? Looks like in my county, I'm going to have to jump through some hoops to sell to restaurants, the farmers market. So that should be a state law thing, not a county thing. I don't know what zoning restrictions would be something with your county, but the federal government treats mushrooms like produce. Tennessee treats mushrooms like produce. You should look up what your cottage laws are and your produce laws. And number one, you should see if mushrooms are under produce. So like North Carolina, I know they're under produce. there really weren't a lot of hoops I had to jump through. They manage it the same way tomato growers do here. So, we have a place in Silva, North Carolina. Hopefully, after all this passes, I can come say hi at the Foundry. Yeah, man. The Foundry is the one place where I'm not going to mind giving tours and everything else. Got me a nice liability policy on the place. Going to have actual structured places. We're about to announce classes that are starting up in a couple of months, so that hopefully people can attend the classes. In a couple of months, things have died down a little bit. People know not to travel so much. We won't be a big group. We'll have plenty of space to spread out. Do a mushroom cultivation course. So, yeah, we're hoping to announce it in a day or two, and then have people be able to pay, sign up, reserve their spots, and then come in a couple of months down to the Foundry and take that class. So that's gonna be cool. Your family is getting worried to see you spending so much time with us. It's getting hard to catch all the live. My family look at me strangely listening at you at the dinner table. Yeah, be a little careful not to get too much of me. But my family, my mom's worried that I'm burning out. But what I'm doing right now is a short high energy burst, a sprint basically, to get a bunch of things running and moving and going in place. And then I'll be able to back off and manage. So that's what I'm working on right now. Where you at, Brandon Davis? Says Rutro. I have friends in Silva, small world. Oh, sweet, I'm down for a class this fall. All right, sounds good, Jerome. Yeah, we'll get it. Probably going to plan one in October, because that's like my favorite month ever. And then planning one in probably the end of May. If we have to push that one back a little bit, we will. But I don't think we're going to have to, because I think, commonplace restrictions, it won't prevent us from doing anything. We'll be very careful, very sterile. I think it'll be really a good thing for everybody. And we'll probably be able to record the class and then post some of it on the website. Or on YouTube, I mean. I'm going to have to let this stuff dry out a little bit. Even adding all that bulk stuff to it has made it a little goopy. Let's see. I'm going to start making turtle sculptures out of my own poop. I'm going to call them turtles. Jason, I think that's a great business idea. I think that's your first $1 million idea I've heard. You should go with it. Kind of like the moose poop girl. The one that makes a poople, as in people that are made of poop. Little stick figures out of moose turds. Gross. Organic certification is a nightmare and very costly. You can't recoup the cost very easily with mushrooms. So yeah, that's kind of my understanding. Like, I'm already selling at close to organic prices, and I didn't have any of the expense. So, and I sell out every week. Even now, with all this stuff going on, we're still selling out. Now, granted, this is a low production week. Just happened to coincide with the dip in sales. But, we're still selling. We got a resort we're still selling to. The resort is a very exclusive resort. So I'd say, I know Samantha said that it smelled like just, sanitizer when she pulled up and dropped off there. They had all the doors open, windows open, that kind of stuff. So thinking about low tech steamer using a sauna steamer generator with a 55-gallon barrel. What do you think? Yes, 3K will work. We have done that before. 3K will work for a barrel. In fact, I think we ran 2 barrels off of a 3K system. Maybe that was a 4.5K. Sauna steamers are great. There is some modifications that make them a little bit better. I don't remember them. Ben knows that. But it will work. Anything we can do to help you through this difficult time? You've helped so many people. We owe you whatever we can do. Yeah, Gus, I appreciate that offer, man. And yeah, there is something you can do to help me. Either, and I hate to say it, but support me through Patreon. That would be a good way to go. Or, just doing business with me. if you can buy cultures, if there's any cultures I can do for you, or if there's something you're looking for in specific, get with me and maybe I can add it to the website. And I'll always, like, I'm not going to just sell you something that I wouldn't use myself. So like this lion's mane strain, I've been going through and growing out a bunch of different cultures. And when the trials are finished, I'll probably go ahead and post the one I like so far, and then get into the ones that I think are the best later on as time goes. But any business you guys can throw my way, that'll be the most help you can do. And it won't be just me taking donations or being selfish or anything like that. I really don't want. I appreciate anything you guys do for me, but we don't need to do charity. Just doing business with me is the best thing you can do for me. So I really appreciate you asking, though, man. It makes me happy to know that you guys have got my back so much. You guys have really stepped up with me. So I added plugs and kits to the websites again, even though I took off grain spawn. I can't keep up with the grain spawn orders, but I can keep up with kits and I keep up with plugs. So if you guys need any of that stuff, you just let me know. I'm in Colorado, haven't started production yet. Looking to start selling mushrooms next year. Boulder Farmers Market requires you to use local materials to grow your produce, but there is no hardwood here. Certainly they can't be the only restriction. Like they can't just say you can only produce on local stuff. Because our farmers market has you have to produce locally, but you had to use as much of the substrate as you could. But they if you called them and talked to them, a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, mushrooms. We understand there's not a lot of infrastructure to support that kind of farming yet. Let us, we'll make an exception for you." That happens to me all the time. People will make exceptions for mushrooms because they're still so rare to find. So maybe try calling them and talk to them and just let them know that there's just not local infrastructure to support you, but you would like to get that going eventually. And the best way to do that is for you to be able to do business now. Which mushroom should I choose to grow? A monster, the biggest fruit mushroom to eat, of course, size, guess. King oyster would be the best from what I can understand of that question. Jerome, down here in Florida, my tomato vines have fruit on them already, but our season is flipped up from up north. Oh, really? I guess I can see that. Okay. You guys are warmer down there, maybe. I'm just starting my tomato seedlings. Usually I start my peppers around Christmas time. I didn't start peppers this year because I thought that I was going to be abandoning in my garden. But Samantha and I save seeds every year, and so we're going to be – guys, my favorite tomato is Kosovo tomato. I didn't save any seeds, and I'm having a hard time finding Kosovo seeds. That is my favorite tomato of all time. So I'm going to focus on purple Cherokee this year, but because that's Samantha's favorite. But the Kosovo, oh, my gosh, that was such a wonderful tomato, and I wish I had saved the seeds, but I thought I'd just be able to buy them, and they've gotten hard to find. Ollie, this isn't that kind of mushroom growing. Crap, you didn't add your crap. I added my crap to this one. I have it all added right here. Though my trays are starting to bend, I might need to be a little more careful with stacking them up that high. Count me in on that course. Hey, that sounds good. More. Let's see. We'll do a social media blitz, and maybe I'll do a video. I'll tell you what, guys, with all this stuff going on, to alleviate some of the workload off Robin, we did do a video. Of the warehouse, but I think that what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and I'm going to start doing some more TR Davis style videos for you guys, where I'm holding my phone and I'm walking around the op and I talk to you guys about that kind of stuff. It'll be lower production value, but it'll still allow me to get information out to you guys. And it'll alleviate some of the workload on Robin so she can focus on developing revenue streams online for me, because that's really what we got to do right now. And so you're going to see the channel change quite a bit. Like you've seen a lot more live streams. I'm just working as I'm talking to you guys. That allows me to do two things at once. And you're going to see probably the production value go down a little bit, but we're going to try to up the content. And I'm going to do as much of it on my own as I can. And then when Robin has the time and the ability, she can come and help me. But I really want her focusing on, she's got her eBay store going. She's working on Amazon, I think. I'm not sure if we're actually listed on Amazon yet. I'm having a hard time keeping up with all this stuff. So, but you're going to see that kind of stuff going. So, courses, consultations, cultures, all that stuff will be running hard right now. In a half-colonized bag of spawn, as some grains turn gray, is that a sign of contamination? Are they fuzzy, or are they just kind of? I don't like. When did it turn gray? How gray is gray? Are there any other identifying factors you can tell me about it? Do the sauna steamers get hot enough, unmodified? Yeah, but I think there's a timer circuit on there, so you have to move a jumper over a couple places. I don't remember. If you go to Mushroom Growing on Facebook, there are people who did the modifications there. Look up sauna steamers, maybe sauna steamer modification, maybe sauna steamer mods. I'm not entirely sure what to look for on that. We were planning on doing a video for it. As like I said, I've been saying, it's getting harder for us to produce videos and generate these revenue streams. So that's what we're working on right now, is getting the revenue streams up and going, and then we'll go back to our regular scheduled programming. But we did, oh no, my chat went down. Why does my computer always do this? Hold on, let me see. There should be a way for me to do a pop-out chat. And that allows me to reset that so that I can actually see what you guys are saying. So, well, while that's loading, I'm going to take the chance to make some more of this. Hey, it loaded. Buy my stuff so I can keep my job. Yeah, guys, Jason's fighting for a knife here. Uh-oh, so is the chat still not working? Can somebody say something? Hey, Ben. You're back.
Yeah.
All right. We got some packages.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Hey, you know where the egg is?
The pick
Hey.
downstairs on the shelf when you go down there. They just used it for boxing today.
All right.
Hey, okay, we do have chat, so okay. Never heard of Kosovo. If I come across any, I'll let you know. Thank you, Jerome. I appreciate it. It's spelled Kosovo, like Kosovo, where the fighting was back in the Clinton administration, I think it was. It's a tomato from that area. It's a ox heart type. It is so meaty. It is perfect for sandwiches. Like an entire slice fills up a bread slice. And there's very little juice that is like runny. You know, purple Cherokees are kind of like runny and the juice just dribbles out everywhere. The Kosovo tomato ends up having it's juicy on the inside, but the juice doesn't just spill out. It's when you chew. So it doesn't like make your bread soaking wet. And then, of course, on peppers, my favorite pepper to grow is a what's called an Ajvarski pepper, Ajvarski. And the Ajvarski peppers grow big, meaty. They make a jelly out of it in Macedonia, I think is what it says. I got that one from Baker Creek. We got like 10 seeds when we ordered, and now I have thousands of seeds from where we just save the seeds every year. So, which is why my seed starting method is like this. My seed starting method is if I've got very few, I'm very careful about how many seeds I try to start. But if I've got like thousands, like I do whenever I've been growing something for a few years, I'll take that tray and I'll just cast the seeds on top of the tray and I'll fill the whole tray up. And then I'll kind of scratch things up. And then after that, I let them germinate. The fastest ones and the healthiest looking ones get selected with like a toothpick or a skewer, lift them out, and then I pot them up into the little plug packs. And then once they're made into those plug packs, I grow them out, and I grow out 3 or 4 times the amount that I really need. Select the best looking one of those. What? Okay. I select all of those things out, and then we grow them out. And then whichever ones of those taste the best, he got it. Thank you, Jason. Let's see. They had where was I? Oh, we select those, and then whichever ones have the nicest fruit, we save as many of those as we can. I always save a little bit from every plant once they get to the garden and produce fruit, but I always try to save the vast majority of them from the best few plants. So, and we get just some of the best peppers ever that way. So, North Carolina has probably the most tax laws regarding mush. Thankfully, it's one of those markets that the growers are holding themselves to a higher standard than the state does. Yeah, that's what my experience with North Carolina has been. South Carolina, I think, got screwed with Trad Cotter doing the wild mushroom hunting. I think North Carolina followed suit, to where he's like the only expert you can go get certified. I've been ordering from the mycelium and pouring using code Mossy. Does that help you? It does a little bit, Gus. It if you order $100 worth of syringes from him or something like that, I think I make like $1.15, something like that. So, I mean, it's still appreciated, very much so. You all right, Ben?
Yep.
What are you guys looking for? He ate. That kid, man, he ate right before he left.
Yeah, he's also a teenager.
That's true. He is a teenager. Eating like crazy. Yeah, Jason, I'll get you some. You guys, don't worry, man. I'm planting tomatoes and peppers enough for all of us here at Mossy Creek. Kosovo are heart-shaped, sweet, meaty, solid, and juicy, perfect for sandwiches, salad, slicing, or making great tomato sauce. That's very right, man. Those things are amazing. And thank you, Rutro. I appreciate your love for Mossy Creek. You guys have been awesome to us. Did I miss the next question there? Oh, okay, that was Jerome saying he hadn't heard of it. Would you suggest a 12-head ultrasonic for 500 cubic foot fruiting room, or should I downsize and get one that runs more often? Wondering if the constant switching on-off will diminish its lifetime. That's interesting. I don't know if more degradation happens due to runtime or if it happens more due to on-off. My thought, and I could be wrong, my thought on this would be if you've got a bigger one, then it will run less often and therefore will degrade slower. But I don't know that for sure. If you have a question about that, on which one you should, how long, like if it's on-off or just total runtime, send a question through the Contact Us page on House of Hydro. John's got some of the best customer service I've ever seen. It might take him a day to get to you, but he will definitely help you guys out with that. So, and don't forget to use code Mossy.
Like, yes.
Ben's guess.
The total runtime would be the primary thing.
Okay.
Rather than on and off, just because it's an oscillating device.
Okay.
And so if it was start and stop, it would be primarily on the power transformer because everything else physically vibrates.
Okay.
And the transformer we've never had issues with.
That's true. We've never lost a transformer.
So I would say it is total runtime.
Okay.
But again, not an expert.
So Ben and I are not experts, but both of us are guessing the same thing, that it's total runtime. So you would want the bigger unit. You'd rather be overpowered than under. So Ben, you already have the tape, right? Okay. Jason said the tape's on the shelf by the laptop, but
Yeah.
okay. Jerome Calderon, do you have issues with the summer heat growing mushrooms in Florida? It's hard just to keep the house cool in the hottest parts of the year. So maybe you can answer that for him, Jerome. Thank you, Ben. Have a good one. Purple Cherokee is my favorite, but it's so hard to get a perfect one. They always get spot right when they're ready. Yeah, I know. It's always that brown spot, or right now I've got a problem with birds and squirrels just drilling a hole. And I've watched it. Somebody told me it wouldn't be a squirrel. I sat and watched the squirrel reach up and just chew a little hole right in my Purple Cherokees. They love it. Robin wants some of those pepper starts. Oh, yeah. And tomato starts, I assume, right? She wants some purple Cherokee tomatoes, Jason? Oh, yeah, I have to grow with the seasons. Lion's Mane are my faves, and it's a no-go in South Florida. Although I did just get a warm weather strain I'm getting ready to run. Okay, let me know how that warm weather strain turns out. I tried the side fruit, but the bag's top fruited despite the hole inside. Any way to prevent this? Did you flip the block upside down? You got to squeeze all the air out of the bag, or it'll fruit inside. Wayne says, heading out. Hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for the stream. Much love to all. Thanks, Wayne. Take care, man. Have a good day. Let me go grab some water, guys. I'll be back. Uh-oh. I accidentally dropped vermiculite in the sink water. Yeah, Samantha will kill me for that if I don't fix that before she gets back. So, well, what do you do to prepare your bags for second flush? Nothing. Pick the first flush. Just leave it alone. It'll fruit again. Take about 10 days. 7 to 10 days, depending on your oyster strain. Kings might take longer, but not much. There's a lot of people that get really complicated into it. They'll tape up the hole they made. They'll turn it around, create a new hole, and all that kind of stuff. But that's my experience. That's just in order to get a second flush, you just pull the first flush off and go from there. What's up, Michael Lee? Or Michael, or Lee. We're all got cabin fever, I guess. I'm getting ready to plant a few thousand tomatoes and peppers. Well, start the seeds. I'm going to put them in my mix. I'm late on my peppers, but I am on time with my tomatoes. Blah, blah. It's good stuff. Peppers and tomatoes, the sauce tomatoes as well. You talking about the Kosovos? If I can find some, man, I'll get you some. I did get an order in from Brad. No, it's from Wild Boar Farms. I can't remember his name all of a sudden. He's one of my heroes here, and I can't remember his name, but Wild Boar Farms is... Can't remember his name. It doesn't matter. Wild Boar Farms, I got a whole bunch of tomato varieties I'm going to try with him. But those are all like specialties, so I just got a few seeds. So those will be done more carefully than these like broadcast trays I'm doing. But I got something like 10,000. Now I won't plant all of those, but like I'll plant maybe 1,000 out of that. And just pick the 10 best. But I've got something like 1,000 or 10,000 purple Cherokee seeds on the way, and just prepping for garden season with the hopefully I'm going to do some plant sales. So Patriot Supply has them. The Coast really. Oh my gosh! Well, I'm going to get on there before all you people order all the seeds. Yeah, Gus, you're very welcome, man. I'm sorry you haven't been able to produce a sellable crop yet. It takes time to get it right. It takes a few tries, experimentation. That's why I always say to start small and slow. My method's pretty resilient, but it's certainly not, ideal in a lot of ways. But, I mean, a lot of times we're not dealing with ideal situations, so. Jerome Calderon, did you mean a warm weather strain for lion's mane? That would be great. I think that's what he was talking about, man. That's what I was saying. If there's a warm weather lion's mane, I want that stuff. You'd be looking to get into the super sauce aromas from Burpee. They grow to 3 pounds each from Burpee. Okay, I'll buy me some of those. I wonder if they're a good sauce tomato, though, like on flavor. Like if they're as good as the other heirloom varieties. I wouldn't see why they couldn't be. Michael, he's not sure if I can answer this, but You were installing the foot pedal to your bagger. Did you have a problem of air leaking around the ports? Hey, man, I saw your comment on the YouTube channel. I hadn't had a chance to answer yet, mainly because comments are really hard for me to get to these days. But I don't think that we did. That sounds like a faulty port to me, or maybe a line. I'll ask Ben what's going on, and I'll ask him if he's had any leaks, and I'll see if I can't get back to you, man. You may need to email me or something to get me to remind me and jog my memory, because right now, man, with all this like scrambling to make some money during the coronavirus lockdown and shutdown, I am running around like crazy. So I'm definitely not at my best and brightest right now, guys. I'm tired, not sleeping as much as I normally do, and working early and late all day. Michael, Mama, you sent a pack. What a pack of my way. The Kosovos? You didn't. Did you really? God, darling, you were so good to me. Thank you. You're too good to me. I hope you're taking care of yourself as well as you're taking care of everyone else. Michael Lee, and Outgrow sells a warm weather lines, man. Okay. I wonder about them sometimes. I wonder how often Outgrow is relabeling strains, or if they're selling. I just wonder sometimes. I don't know that I've ever bought from Outgrow. I was told one time that they buy all their stuff from Lenny, but I don't remember who told me that. Lenny Rockwell from my Selling Emporium, that they just repackage his stuff and sell it just for a cheaper price to undercut him. But I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't want to be spreading rumors around. So don't take anything I say as gospel. Ever. Never take anything I say as gospel. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading this. My lack of a sellable crop is due to my lack of experience, not because of following your lead. You've been nothing but helpful. Okay, hey, I figured, but at the same time, man, I want you guys to succeed as fast as possible. I try to get as much information out there as I can. There's still a lot of holes in my knowledge, a lot of gaps and everything. And I mean, that means that I basically pass those gaps on to you guys, and I count on you guys. Actually, you guys have been filling in, like teaching you guys. I've learned more about growing mushrooms teaching you guys than I ever did growing mushrooms before. So thank you guys for making me a better grower. Just tuning in, but I just planted my tomato seeds today as well. I have 6 different varieties going. Heck yeah, Nathan, good job. Hey, man, like mine's, right? Need my hands on your comb tooth. Hey, Daryl, it's on liquid culture all day long. Just go on mossycreekmushrooms.com and grab it up, man. I'll tell you that right now I've only got about that much of the liquid culture left. So that's maybe like 10 syringes total. And then I'm going to have to put it as out of stock. So just so you guys know, comb tooth's about to be out of stock for a little bit. I've got another jar growing in. It'll be a couple weeks before it's ready to start selling. I don't like to sell my stuff when it's really weak. Unfortunately, my gold's been selling out so fast that my gold, it basically looks like water at this point. Which is why all of you, the gold's starting to get better now, but which is why all of you who've been ordering gold have gotten an extra syringe of another type. Just because I like one that's not an unlisted type. Just because I feel bad about selling you a syringe that looks so weak. Need my hand, or Baker's Creek Seeds has already started limiting orders. Dang. I got on Johnny's today and ordered a bunch of stuff, potatoes and sweet potato slips. I figured this stuff's going to go crazy, guys. I am going to be doing a lot more outdoor videos because I know people are going to want to start doing outdoor gardens. I've got wine cap. It's about to start going in LC. I'll start making wine cap bags. In fact, Jason and Laura, I'll start unloading the wine cap bags today, and I put cow manure compost in it. And Jason was gagging. Oh, man, I felt so bad for him. He's got a really sensitive sense of smell. Those cow manure compost bags, they smell like my childhood. Dad taking me up to my uncle's dairy, or the dairy farm my uncle worked on. Growing up, the middle school was right across the field from cornfields, and the cornfields would be irrigated with dairy water. And so, I mean, it smells like childhood to me, the cow manure compost, but the Jason, not so much, apparently. Are Our combs tooth are so good. My favorite mushroom we grow, so good in stir fry. Yeah, so that's Jason there. Jason is a hell of a cook. He makes these egg rolls that are to die for. Once I start making a profit, I'll become a patron. No worry, Gus. Yeah, man. I appreciate that very much, man. I'm not like take it on your own time, man. I don't want this to become a big sales pitch or anything. Like, I'm here for you guys. You guys are here for me. We're good, man. Trust me. Just take the knowledge, put it to use. If you pay it back, great. And if you don't, people helped me. That's what I'm here for, is to help you guys. I had a mentor once. Still do. Still call him. He called me the other day. I'm hoping to get him out there to the new warehouse soon. Hugh Brewer's his name, of Brewer's Mushrooms. He's not really growing much anymore. But dude, an old hippie dude, talks like this a lot. He's got his head bobs. He's a real happy kind of guy. It's hard not to love Hugh. No worries. I'm doing as much pneumatic research as possible. They have a huge library with weird cultures and even chanterelles. Is that you talking about Outgrow? Okay, maybe Outgrow's not the one I'm thinking of. Hey, Jason. Welcome to the chat. Jason Godsey. I'm at the very start of cultivating black oyster in 3 weeks and pinning. I had a couple bags fully colonized. I'm like, man, that black oyster is fantastic. The black pearl, it grows in so fast, for sure. So if I take your culture and start my own jar, is it considered second gen? So, Daryl, yeah, pretty much. That's not bad, though. And the generation system, people get really caught up on it. And it is correct to get caught up on it when you are considering, like, mushrooms aren't real. Mushrooms are basically immortal. What they develop when you grow them on sugar substrates over and over and over and over and over again is called enzyme blindness. It's like mushroom diabetes. All of my liquid cultures are typically, most of them, I should say, are started or expanded off of agar. And so they're as close as I can get to the original source as possible. I do run my cultures regularly through with Master's Mix and then select back off of them a little bit. And that seems to help keep them reinvigorated. Because you got to think, a mushroom mat that's 2,000 years old, was it 1.5 miles long or wide or something like that? Like, how in the world did that replicate that many times and live for 2,000 years and not be, a old thing that can't compete anymore? Well, that's because generations don't really matter to mushrooms. They're, was it telomeres? Do they even have telomeres? Whatever. They don't age the way we do by cell replication. But enzyme blindness matters very much. And that's where most people thought senescence was a thing back in the day, because they didn't realize that mushrooms were getting enzyme blindness. So if I fruit and then take culture from fruit to LC, is that back to first gen? Basically, kind of. Yeah, I mean, anytime you clone from a mushroom, you would kind of consider that first generation. If you did that over and over and over again on sugary substrates, really what would be better is to take my liquid culture, inoculate a jar with most of it, save a little bit, put it in a petri dish, grow that petri dish out, and then take it and run it through, like, make a regular agar, like water agar with wood in it, like toothpicks. And when you do that, you can select to pull a toothpick out. Basically, you're letting the mycelium just eat wood. And from that point, you can store that in a culture slant or your petri dish or whatever. And now you have a wood-grown mushroom. And I would consider that your first generation and then go from there. But at the same time, you've got your liquid culture going from my original syringe. And then from that point on, you just keep making it. But that said, I mean, I've expanded LC to LC to LC to LC before for my own cultures, just to experiment with it. It's worked out great for multiple generations. So, not Patriot Seeds, I meant Victory Seed Company. Anyway, a pack is on its way to y'all. Just make me a jar of your famous spaghetti sauce, lol. Deal. Absolute deal. When you come out this way, we'll get you some stuff. Any luck with a pre-mixed Master's Mix? I know you mix your own now. Just curious if you ever used pre-mix. Looks like I can get a ton for about $4.50 with shipping. That's not really overpriced. I could, like, a ton of substrate at $4.50. Tell you what. Let me go to my Google Drive. I have a spreadsheet on all of this on substrates. So give me a second, guys. I'm not going to be able to see your chats for just a moment. Access denied. It's because I'm not signed in. Give me just a moment. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay. I'm going to go to my other computer. It's just not letting me do this. All right, give me just a second. We're going to go into the room with all the little monsters are playing, so it might get kind of loud for a second. But I'll tell you what I'm paying currently per ton. Okay. Go to my drive. I don't understand why it keeps trying to tell me that I don't have access to my own Google Drive. All right. Substrate cost. Excuse the noises of the video games in the background. All right. If I buy it from Bradford Coons, I can have it shipped to my loading dock. I think he said for $568.23 per ton. That's a pre-mixed pellet. Mushroom Media Online just got me my numbers back, and I haven't put them into this spreadsheet, so I don't know yet. But buying soy hulls from the co-op and then sawdust from Tractor Supply, basically taking those and turning them into half tons for a combined price of a full ton, we're looking at $302.25 non-delivered. That's me picking up. So you're looking about $400 after a delivery fee on that. So with $400, you're talking about $450 for a premixed pellet for a full ton. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's not bad at all. So I haven't tried any of the premixed pellets yet, but I hear that they work great. So I don't know who you're getting them from, whether it be Bradford Coons or Seth Fisher, but I'd say probably either option is going to be good. So Gus says, Brandon, I purchased fuel pellets from Menards for $5 for 40 pounds and soy pellets from local feed store for $10 50 pounds, making my cost per ton $3.25, but I do not have any shipping costs. Yeah, see, that's the thing. And that's another thing. It's like, how much is your time worth? How much is going to get it all worth? How much is just having it delivered to your dock worth to you? So, yeah, Daryl, it's the sugar that causes the enzyme blindness. Like I said, it's like diabetes. They eat too much sugar over their lives. They lose the ability to make sugar out of the whatever's in wood, the carbohydrates, basically, or cellulose. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've gone over that stuff. I have forgotten. I'd have to reread it. Let's see. Brandon says, good to know, Gus. I'll definitely shop around before I decide to go with a premix. Hello again from Maine. It's great to be able to watch again. Unfortunately, late again. No worries, Mark. I mean, I just do these when I can right now. So, assuming one was growing in a monotub, has anyone ever transferred a piece of mycelial growth from the side of a tub to agar, or is that plain silly? Now, you can do that. I've done that before. It might be dirty. You have to clean it up a little bit, but you can absolutely do it. What are your thoughts on mushroom supplements, their viability as a product and means to diversify income streams? I've consulted with some people that do that, at least 3 farms now, and they are all 3 making mad money right now. So probably a good way to go if you've got the ability to invest in it up front. It is costly to invest in it up front. But once you get it going, I take mushroom supplements. I know a lot of people that take mushroom supplements. I know they're going like crazy. No one can seem to keep them in stock. So, you know, that's the way to go. Daryl Wise, who will ship pre-mixed masters to West Coast, Washington State? Bradford Coons will ship and Seth Fisher both will. So mushroommediaonline.com will ship. And then Bradford Coons' website is crap, I'm having a hard time remembering. Bradford Coons. Man, I'm shedding vermiculite everywhere. Yeah, I don't need to finish the comment. Top Shelf Mushrooms. So look up Top Shelf Mushrooms, contact them, and get in contact with him for getting shipping costs there. Found the Cosmo tomato seeds on Victory Seeds website. Thank you, Jerome. Yeah, Michael Mama found them there too. And more questions about morels going. Looks like one of my really good buddies has fat. Yep, he's got a picture of morels in his yard. Oh, that makes me hungry. You can hear the Minecraft sounds in the background. I bet that whoop, 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 whoop. So, oh man. Well, you guys are gonna hang out with me for a second while I verify my bank account with Google services so I can start my Google store, because I need every dollar on deck right now. So you guys are going to work with me here while I'm doing that, and then we'll go back to what we were doing just before. Not sure if you've heard of the stove technique as an alternate method if you don't have a flow hood. I have not. Can you explain that to me? I would love to hear about that. That sounds interesting to me. This homesteader always takes care of herself, Shug. But if I don't lead by example, how can I really be called mama? Well, that's true, Michael Mama, and I appreciate that. But like my own mama, you ladies need to be taken care of. So I appreciate all that you do for me. Just take care of yourself too. All right. So looking at this, I don't see. Google is asking. There's the Google test. Haha, I found it. It's buried in all that other money I've been having to spend. Okay. So. This is crazy. All right. Now. Thanks for that. Do you have a few references to those mushroom supplement businesses? I'd like to understand investment costs and such. I don't have any references that they built, and any of the consultations that I do are specifically confidential unless I'm told otherwise by them. So I can't give you their numbers or anything like that. I do keep everything that I do confidential, and unless I have been given explicit permission to share their business plans and things with you. So anyone who wants to do consults with me and share business plans is very much welcome. But just know that I am not going to share anything that we go over without your permission. So, I am in the wrong tab for sure. Yeah, Spencer, it's no worries, man. And I appreciate you understanding of that. A lot of people don't understand that. I have been cussed out over the phone a few times for not being willing to share stuff. Just the way it is, but see, Daryl, barbecue pellets are 4 times the cost of fuel pellets. Yes, that is very true. They usually are. Daryl says currently using barbecue pellets. So that's where you came up with that. Hardwood fuel pellets are the best way to go in my experience, just because they're so much cheaper. Bulk sawdust is nice too, because you can often get it for free. But the problem is that you have to do a lot more work to make it a usable product. And in my opinion, I'm all about making it as easy for me labor-wise as possible, because that's a decision that allows me to exponentially influence something, right? I do a job, and basically I'm able to do 10 jobs because I made the labor less intensive. So.
Where are you?
Wow, guys, that Minecraft noise is one of the most annoying things I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's okay.
Is it okay? It doesn't sound okay to me.
We're throwing Enderman.
It sounds terrible.
We're throwing Enderman. What can I say? What can I say?
Oh, well, if you need to kill Enderman, I guess do it. All right, Michael Lee says, turn your oven on 150, let warm up, get baker's rack, put on range that sticks out beyond the range, open the oven to that point to where it has that gap.
Whoa.
Gus, stove technique is working inside a preheated oven, which has cooled down enough to allow working therein. I've also seen some work over a preheated oven, just open a crack. Okay. Interesting. So that sounds a lot like the torch method that we used to use in college, which is where you've got a Bunsen burner and you're working through and around that flame to like above it to keep everything as sterile as possible. But Gus, shipping is killing me. Yeah, and shipping kills you on anything like that. You should be able to find hardwood fuel pellets. If not, Douglas fir. What's the other one? You've got Douglas fir and hardwood fuel pellets. That covers most of the country right there. Supplements from ground fruit or mycelium. Could you please give us an abbreviated explanation of how each process works? Mark, I can't really because I haven't really done that part. I always consulted on the production part because producing the fresh fruits or the mycelium was one of the more difficult parts. And we have a really easy to replicate system. So these guys worked with us to help them up their production. As far as like the actual medical or the medicinal supplements or just supplements, I guess you should say, as far as any of that stuff goes, the processing is completely on them. I have never worked in that kind of industry, so I don't have a lot of experience with it. Growing stuff, I can grow the heck out of anything on this planet, but given enough time and resources. But as far as like processing stuff, yeah, that's not my forte. Andrew, you mentioned classes in the future. Ever think about a web class? Yes, I have. Don't know anything about putting one together yet, but we are working on it some. So, a giant mushroom? No way!
And one right here too.
Man, you can build a house in that mushroom that big.
Yeah, there's mushrooms in Minecraft.
Oh my goodness, mushrooms in Minecraft. All right, Daryl. Yeah, I'll see what I can do to get a class going. I don't know. Hold on, give me 1 second. 21. I don't know how to set it up. So if anyone has any experience setting up these online classes or something, let me know. I would love to get them going and get them out to you guys. And I could absolutely work on those and get some nice classes going and have, real interaction with your instructor, which is me. All right. Well, got my Google account taken care of. So that is great because now we have a merchant account with a verified bank address or bank account, which means that I can finally start getting paid through Google. How do I think, Mark? So, yeah, without being held to it, grinding up mushrooms could be done through a food processor. So I would just take the mushrooms, dry them, and then run them through a food processor. And then as far as the mycelium, I think I would just do it the same way. Just run it through a food processor, large or small, and have that where you can grind up your myceliated grain or your fruit, have an encapsulating machine so you can make your capsules quickly and efficiently, and then sell those. And I know a lot of people who do that for a lot of different purposes. Some of them so they can get some stuff in concert venues. Some of them so they can actually produce supplements. And that's the way that I've mainly seen it. But I've never seen it on a large scale. But I'm sure that you basically just buy an industrial size processor. That's probably the easiest way to go. This is kind of like a class now. Yeah, that's kind of the way I've been thinking of it. All right, you might hear a bang. It's nothing big. It's just a window closing because I had to do it one-handed. We're in class Mossy right now. Yes, we are with Professor Moss, I guess. I don't know what you would call me. Professor Back for Moss Back, maybe?
Dad,
What, Ethan?
when are we going to go to the warehouse?
We're going to go to the warehouse in a little bit. I'm going to do a live stream for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to get off of it because I'm done with my tomatoes. And then we're going to go deliver some supplies to your mama and brother who are running the roadside stand.
I want to go to the roadside stand.
Okay.
He did say I could probably stay there as long as I had.
That's fine with me. We can do that.
He didn't have anything for me to do.
I'm sure I can find something for you to do, Hazen. Cornell Small Farms is an online course that's really good. Nice. Andrew, you should reach out to them too. Okay, I'm okay with that. I don't know anything about it, but I can. Zen and the Martial Arts by Joe Himes is a good book to read. It applies to much more than judo chops, and thanks for the book suggestion, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You're very welcome, man. I love that book. Robin says we were doing an online class and doing it soon. She is the light and the way. I'm okay with that. Robin, yeah, that could be something you could do. Let's get some classes ready. Tell me what I need to do. See, guys, this is what Robin does. Robin just tells me what I have to. Robin, basically, he is kind of like a boss for me now. She's like, hey, sign this, do this. So we'll see if you guys can still see me out here. I want some fresh air. Here we go. All right. Possibly grown on a certain medium. Gotcha. I understand. A good blender would work too. That's okay. Yeah, Jason, I was wondering about that. So we used to have a food processor that looked basically like a giant blender. German word for mushroom, Pilz. Professor Pilz. Professor Pilz. I like it. I could even get a nice German accent going whenever I needed to. The other day you said you had a consult in Louisiana. Can you at least say the area where they are? She's looking for friend close to me. They are Lake, and they haven't paid yet, so they haven't finalized yet. I don't finalize anything until I'm paid, just because I've been burned too many times. So, what was the name? Like, it wasn't Lake Pontchartrain and Charles and all that stuff. It was some lake I'd never heard of before down there. But they were good 50 miles from the coast, I think is what she said. Michael Lee, one quote, I am not going to show you my art. I'm going to share it with you. I like that, especially from a martial arts perspective. That's pretty cool. Pilz, German. Heck yeah, I like a lot of German stuff. In fact, made sauerkraut and sausages and sauerkraut sausage, and Ben made homemade bread, and we had a nice Cabot sharp cheddar cheese with it. It was a really good meal yesterday. So the German part made me think of that. Unless you guys need to know my lunch. So, oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, man. Maybe we can bring some trays out here in the nice sunshine and fresh air and have a pepper planting party. You get my seed bank out. We are going through all of our junk downstairs and lightening our load of how much stuff we have. And so it's made me have a huge pile of junk in my kitchen. Well, because we had to put the pile there and then said, we have so many days for everybody to go through it and get what they want out of it. And then it's being thrown away. So, so she's laying the hammer down. I'll tell you what. We will do it right here. Let me go grab something and I'll be right back. Go play outside. It's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow. And it's nice and sun shining outside right now, so go play. All right, I'm back. If I show it to you, it becomes an exhibition, and in time it will be pushed so far into the back of your mind that it'll be lost. By sharing it with you, you will not only retain it forever, but I too will improve. That makes a lot of sense. Like I said, especially from the martial arts perspective. I'm in the process of using mycelium for supplements. May need to grow in a certain medium. Oh, okay. My bad. Misunderstood you there. Thought I understood. Hey guys, did you know that because of the corona outbreak, they're giving away free iPhone 11s?
What?
Pepper plants. Trying to get my seeds ready. So we'll just go ahead and plant them with you guys. Figure don't have to stop this if we don't want to. Unless you guys want to call it quits, we can call it quits. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep planting. Seeding. All right. We'll start with the Zvarsky peppers. Samantha always tells when we harvest by on here, like, so that one was September 1st. These were harvested August 26th. Samantha does that because she likes for us to plant. Hey, there's our Melrose cross. Melrose pepper is another really good one. It's one of my favorites. The Calabrian hot chilies. There's a Varsky from 2018. There's more Melrose, but she always does a date on him when she can, because we always try to get the earliest fruiting ones going, and then she always picks the latest fruiting as well. And so we'll plant some mixture of the earliest and latest fruiters for the seeds, and that kind of gives us a better, broader range of peppers growing in. So, hey, Daryl, take it easy, man. We'll see you later. I need to inoculate some bags. My wife just accused me of procrastinating. Rightly so. Stay healthy. Well, take care, Gus. You guys take it easy. We'll see you later. I procrastinate all the time. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us, Andrea. I look forward to you going live, and I'm fortunate enough to listen while I work. Heck yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. More Calabrian. By the way, planting hot peppers, I learned I don't plant very many hot peppers because I'm not a big hot pepper guy. And I learned a couple of years ago that you really need to plant with gloves on. Or especially wash your hands very, very well before going and using the little boys' room and tinkling. I earned the nickname Hot Rocket that way. So, you know, nothing quite like standing in a shower crying and asking people to pass you an aloe vera plant in the bathroom. Melrose peppers. Man, this one saves more seeds than anyone I've ever seen. It's beautiful and glorious. Oh, I forgot. Is it too late to plant collards? Anybody know if it's too late to plant collards? Had the same thing happen to my pepper too. Yeah, dude, it's the worst. I'm glad you're getting to work too. I figure this isn't a waste so long as we're all working. You know, it kind of helps me with the cabin fever. I like to talk. I love talking to people. I just love being surrounded by activity and talking and everything else. And I get some of that at the warehouse. And I get some of it. Samantha and Ben are both introverts. All of my friends are introverts. For some reason, I attract introverts. I don't know why. And then, you know, what I figure is I attract a whole passel of introverts around me so that somebody's always willing to talk. But right now, everybody's so busy. And we're supposed to be shutting in and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. You guys are kind of my therapy session right now. Just wondering. Oh, thank you for sharing your knowledge of this, Andrea. I look forward to. Oh, sorry, I read that earlier. Yeah, baby.
What can Birdie and I do outside?
Well, you can go play anything you want. I don't know. I wouldn't go around all over the neighborhood or anything like that. I think Saba and Jamana's dad is not wanting them to play with other people right now. So, I don't know, Aislinn, you got a whole big yard to go play in.
Well, what are we supposed to do inside?
Huh?
What are we supposed to do?
Yo, you're not supposed to be staying inside. You can go outside and play. Oh, we have a Zvarsky Melrose mix bag. There's a Zvarsky. Yeah. All right, where was that?
Hey, can I take the dogs for a walk?
No, don't take the dogs for a walk. Just wondering, I've seen small growers over time get big, but then their channels shrink. Funky Fungi by Jewel and Earth Angel Mushrooms just almost go ghost. Well, I mean, so TR's been traveling a lot. Funky Fungi is no longer in business. So Jewel's out of business. And, well, I guess TR's out of business now as of, like, yesterday or the day before. TR went from full business to 4 hours later, 99% of his business was lost. He laid off his entire crew. He said he's going to be opening back up, so I'm hoping that that's true and that everything's going well for him. But he said that the only person that's working right now is he put out a video, I think, yesterday. So, you know, it's going to be hard for everybody for a while, for the next little bit. Man, those Zulu peppers were good. The bigger guys, my thought is that some of them get busy. TR was traveling a lot. That's why he shrank for a while. And I don't think most people see the same kind of monetary benefit that like Eric Myers and I do from YouTube. Eric Myers is, you know, in the Middle East. So he is not really posting the way he could. Jason, oh my gosh. And then Jewel is, like I said, she's out of business just entirely. I read starving hot peppers for water makes them hotter. Tried it last year and grew regular jalapenos that were too hot to eat. Yeah, I water mine like crazy. Maybe that's why I like mine so much more. I like spicy food, but I like what I consider spicy food, not what other people consider spicy food. So I'm kind of a baby when it comes to that. Have you ever thought of using geothermal and or HRV to help reduce heat loss when pumping fresh air into your fruiting room during winter? Yes, Brendan. Ben's working on HRV systems for the new, for the foundry, the new warehouse. And I knew a bunch of guys who did the geothermal, and they laid in a crap ton of costly infrastructure. And it, I don't think it ever really paid off on the geothermal. So not for them, at least. I do have some other peppers that I have never planted, but I've had the seeds for like 4 years. Wonder if I should give them a shot this year. And I have all kinds of winter squashes that I have never planted. I don't know. We'll have to go over procrastination and masturbation are both great until you realize you just effed yourself. Fair enough. I have no response to that. Microgreen radish seeds and collards. I don't know about planting collards. My grandfather always planted hot peppers, but he didn't like them. He always said those and marigolds helped keep insects away. You know, I've heard the same thing. I have never tested it, but I know marigolds. We plant a lot of marigolds in our garden, and it seems like they help a lot. We also planted some. I don't remember what the other flowers were, but we planted some of those, and they were really good for keeping or bringing beneficial insects in. Maybe we read somewhere Gerber daisies. We read somewhere that Gerber daisies attract praying mantises, and I remember the one year we did it, we had so many praying mantises, it was insane. My kid is a knucklehead. He had to be the, hey, y'all, watch this guy. and broke his arm showing off on a skateboard. This school thing is getting expensive. Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding. Well, all right, guys. So awesome. The kids are excited about the warehouse. They'll be the next generation of growers. I hope so. It's funny. My dad built his business hoping that I would take over, and I didn't. And then I'm building this business, and I've told my kids before that I'm not going to be offended if they decide to go in another business. I'll hire a business manager for this, and they'll still inherit it, and they can sell it off or do whatever they want with it. And my father's basically said the same thing to my brother and I. And I'm hoping that my kids will at least be in business. But they don't have to do it on my terms. Just like my dad didn't force me to do it on his terms. But I did learn a lot about business by going with him and he did door-to-door sales and took me with him. And then he delivered bread for a long time, and I worked with him on the weekends. And then he started his business in our basement growing up. And it grew until he was forced to get office space. And then now he has his own business with his own offices, and he owns his own agency. And he's kicking booty. And, it's kind of nice. He told me the other day he went and saw the warehouse, the foundry, and saw it and was telling me how proud of me he was and stuff. And I'll be honest, I ate that up all day long. I was actually talking to my oldest boy about that, and I was like, man, I got to be honest, like, I still crave my dad being proud of me and everything else. So it was nice to have a little heart with Collier, who you guys don't really see on here. But he's my oldest boy. And I don't know, it's weird. Like I can talk to my oldest boy about anything right now. He's turned into a teenager, and the teachers have said over and over again that he likes hanging out with the adults more than he likes hanging out with the other kids his age. So, but it is nice to be able to talk to him about that kind of stuff. Not trying to blow up your log, but pressure cooking while my kid naps. Just enjoy these live feeds. I see this as a two-tier process, ask and then do. Yeah, absolutely. No, man, you're not blowing anything up. Do your stuff, man. Ask me all the questions you want. I will respond if and when I can. If you get mad at me for not answering something, we've got a problem. But if you ask and I can get to it, and I do, and I help you, then that is exactly what I want this to be. So, I mean, right now, guys, I'm just chilling out. I'm not even, this is not a big to-do live stream. As you guys can tell, it's very low-key. So, I have an old cast iron furnace. Would that be helpful to keep the foundry warm in the winter? I don't know, Jason. It might. You can check it out. I was thinking about bringing my wood stove over. We have a flue over there, so I was thinking about getting the flue checked out and then put my grandfather's old wood fire chief wood stove in. You can plant them now, but they will be bitter until they get a frost, so they will have to be put in the freezer after you pick them. Just let them frost, though. Don't tell my secret. For what, Robert? What did I miss? The last thing I saw was about your kids. What can we plant now? My kids want to work with us, Jason? Really? They do? That's funny. So you're and Laura's kids both. That is awesome. Melanie said that her kids will sit there and watch our YouTube channel, but they just really like our videos. I think it's awesome. How does one become a band hammer? Well, Jerome, you need to be on at a time when it's necessary. Like basically if Jason and or Wayne aren't here handling the trolls, then that would be how I would do it. The only reason why I made Wayne even one, and this is not to be offensive towards Wayne at all. It was just that literally Jason wasn't on, and I needed the manpower because we were getting crazy trolled. So that was where that came from. It's not meant to be offensive to anyone else. Oh, so you assign it? It was just one. Yeah, that's somebody that has administrator access to the account has to do it. So Robin has it, I have it, and then we can decide who gets it. Which I'm not sure if Jason has it now or not. But hey, Joe, what's going on, man? I'm not sure if Jason and Wayne have that power or not now. Oh, crap. I needed that tray. I just threw it all the way over there. Coolio. There we go. That'll start to get the seeds to germinate. You know what we should do? I'm so curious as to what orders came in from Amazon. We're going to do a mailbag. You guys are going to open packages with me. And I'm going to find out what I got. All right. First order is locked up tighter than Fort Knox. Oh my gosh. What the hell is wrong with this package? Oh, some of my favorite stuff. Whey protein. It's tasty. Well, that's weird. I only ordered one thing, and I got two. I was wondering why I had two boxes. Well, guys, I guess worst comes to worst during all this Ragnarok, I have plenty of protein. All right, what do we got? Cutting the water will increase the flavor on all plants. Interesting, Robert. Okay. Even like zucchini and stuff, because zucchini is pretty tasteless. Samantha's going to kill me. I didn't order any zucchini seed. That's like her favorite vegetable. Got some info to share. Bought my pharmacist laminar hood. Cultures are growing like crazy and without contaminants. Awesome, Joe. Congratulations, man. I know we've been talking a lot back and forth about flow hoods. It's funny, my son has a fascination with silos, and I think he got that from seeing me grow king oysters. Do you can your veggies? Do I can my veggies that I grow? Not recently, not in the past few years. We used to. We used to can a lot of, we do a pickle brine, and then we would do a lot of our homegrown vegetables and mushrooms canned. And I love canned oysters. Like pickled canned oysters are one of my favorite things in the world. Robin has put in stops for trolls, and so far they seem to be working. Heck yeah, I haven't noticed anything. Not in a while. I mean, we had some trolls on the other day, but not much. You didn't seem like you were having to do much work to keep them at bay. So between you ban hammers and then the new acceptable guidelines and such, seems like we're doing all right. Let me plug you guys in. It's too far. Hold on. Oh my gosh, hold on. You're too far away. I keep dropping everything. Give me a sec. All right. I have you guys plugged in now. So, now we're not dying anymore. All right, where we at? I can ban people, put in people in timeout, delete comments, make sure people in the chat behave, remove the ones that don't. I pickle every kind of mushroom, Michael, except I haven't done chestnuts because I hate chestnuts. Collards. Oh, the frost. Okay, you were answering the collards question. There's starting to be a significant delay in whenever I speak and then what the chat's showing me. So it's like you guys are typing, and I don't see it for like minutes. So I'm not sure what's up with that, but let's see. You have some zucchini seeds? Awesome. Maybe I can grab some from you guys then. I'll trade you some tomatoes and peppers. Starts. Sorry, I forget the time you can plant collard greens. Now they grow for 2 years. They grow for 2 years? I thought you could harvest them the first year. Are those Presto 23s in the back? And can you run them on a glass top stove? Yes and yes. Don't get them too hot. Crack your glass. If it's fish, what is a troll? Don't want to be one of them or whatever they are. That's a good question to ask, Jason. I don't know that we can control the speed. Joe, I would like it to be a little faster, but I didn't think there was a speed setting. Let me see if I can. No, I don't see anything. I can manage moderators, participants, toggle timestamps, and send feedback. It's the only setting I'm seeing right now. Maybe there's something deeper that I'm not seeing. They're coming in too fast. You can slow them down. Okay, Joe, I haven't seen any of that, man. Why do you hate chestnuts? Well, chestnut mushrooms are, I don't know, they taste foul to me. It's like they taste disgusting. I must be crazy because everyone else in the world loves them some chestnut mushrooms, and I don't know what it is. I just think they taste foul. Just absolutely horribly disgusting. But there's like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. Thought maybe it was slowed down. Nah, Joe, I haven't seen anything that says anything like that. Slight delay to the chat. Yeah, Jason, but this seems like particularly slow compared to other times. But maybe that's just because we've got 23 people in here, and I'm used to like 50-something people in here. So maybe that's what it is I'm just not getting hammered with comments like I have been in the past. So probably will be getting off soon, though. That warning in the background sounds like you have bad weather. Warning. I don't hear anything. All I hear is my refrigerator going. I have a big fridge, and it is loud. I hate chestnuts because even when they are going good, they still look like crap. Yeah, a lot of times, man, that's like Jason's right. Like, we have to work so hard to get them to fruit well. Okay, baby. Go ahead and change out the laundry. Thank you. Yeah, you don't want to run the 941 on glass top. No, not at all. Not at all. That will mess up. That's way too heavy. The rating on that will not hold up. Joe, don't be scared, man. You just keep practicing. We've got some experimentals going. I used to grow great looking chestnuts, and I don't know. This strain that the people are growing now just doesn't seem like it's doing as well. I've got my own strain going now. We just put bags of that in the grow room. I'm hoping that it will fruit better. Oh, then yeah, it's my strain. That's the strain that I used to grow. That's a really good strain. The thing about chestnuts, the only time I've liked them is one guy cooked them for me, and he cooked it down to a really thick sauce, and that one was pretty good. Like I could taste it for hours. Samantha and I both were in love with that sauce. That's the only time I've ever liked them. Other than that, I don't like them. But Samantha loves them. Ben loves them. The kids loved them. My kids don't even like mushrooms that much, and man, they were going crazy over the chestnuts. Like every other person in the world I know loves them. So I wouldn't be too scared, Joe. I've got weird taste, I guess, man. I just don't like them myself. I don't know why. I told you guys I was going to be planting tomatoes, but for some reason I went ahead and switched it up, and I'm starting my peppers. But I can go back and retroactively make a reason for doing the peppers instead of just doing them first, is that peppers take longer, and I want them as quickly as possible. That's good enough, right? A troll is a person who is here only to cause problems. Yes, that is very true. When will I know it's time to fruit? So, Joe, there's a few different thoughts on this. And one of them is to fruit it as soon as the bag is turned white, just like you would oysters. Some people like to let them yellow. I don't know. I have found that they're kind of hard to gauge, but yellow seems like they fruit better. More heavily, I should say, but they fruit all over the place. But then they're such slow growers that if you try to fruit them right when it turns white and your room's not like superbly clean, they'll contaminate a little easier. So what I would do is let them grow in until they're white. And then when they start to yellow, maybe don't let them yellow all the way to where they're like real gooey or anything. Just let them start producing some of that yellow goo metabolite. And when you've got some of that going, then you can go to your heart's content. I plugged you guys up, and for some reason it's not working. All right, now we're charging. Cool. Peeling as in like eggs or like pickles? I mean, I don't know how you pickle eggs. The way I pickle eggs is I hard boil them and then put them in pickle brine and can them. So I'll do the same thing with pickles. I'm not talking like lacto fermentation. I'm just talking like a pickle brine canning process. No, Jerome, it wasn't. He just let me try it, but I think it was served in the restaurant alongside a steak. Oh, you see a lot of yellow? Did you say the fluid was a discharge? Yeah, it's metabolite. And it's perfectly normal, especially on chestnut. Chestnuts and the Mikos, those kinds of things, they really put out the metabolite. So, going for the longest live chat yet today. Seedlings for the masses, Adruski. And I'm going to go post up locally and slang some oysters this weekend. Do it, man. I'm telling you guys, yesterday we didn't kill it, but nobody knew we were there. And people were just running around. Then we had a whole bunch of people go, oh my gosh, we'll be here tomorrow. And then we had a whole bunch of people get on the Facebook post that we did saying that they wanted to come by. So I'm thinking that we're going to end up doing really well. It's a very high traffic area for me. What it is. Bye, baby. Love you. So yeah, that's what I would do is absolutely just go for it. See what happens. And if I had thought about it, I would have done a couple microgreen trays for some sunflowers and just gone ahead and done them like with all this. I guess I could. I've got more trays on the way, so. I might go ahead and make a couple microgreen trays up. So I'll need to dump some of this back in the bucket, put the seeds down, and then put the things going. But that'll work well. Let's see. I bet it was a demi-glaze sauce that takes 2 days to make when done right. Yeah, man. I bet it was a demi-glaze. Now that you mention it, like thinking about the way it felt and tasted, it was certainly like some sort of mushroom demi-glaze. So then in they go. How much microgreens do you grow? So I don't do much at all. I haven't been doing them, except just for my family back in the day. Like I used to grow microgreens through the wintertime, and through the summertime I didn't worry about other greens growing. So I'm thinking about doing it right now just because somebody mentioned it earlier, and I haven't done it in a very long time, and it was very, very good. Very good, like the sunflower seed starts, like just chopped up and thrown in a stir fry. And we've done them raw, and we've done them cooked, and they're fantastic. So I really enjoy growing microgreens, and I might do it now if it ends up being a decent little income source on the side for our market tent. So I might very well do that. Just to go ahead and get some out there since we're doing the roadside stand anyways. And we're going to be plasticking out that window and this door that's over here. We have our back porch, and we have PVC that runs down, and we always just plastic over it and adhere it at the top and the bottom to make a nice little starter, like seed starting area and everything else. And that's usually a really good way to go. Nice. Samantha's apparently killing it over there right now. Yeah, so apparently Samantha just sent me a message. She's killing it at our roadside stand today, so hell yeah. Hell yeah. Man, I love that woman. She absolutely kills it. But did lose another restaurant tomorrow. That's okay. Here's the thing. I only have to sell if I go and I start selling roadside like we are, or at our warehouse, or to the public is really what I'm trying to say, through CSAs or anything like that. I only have to sell half as much as what I've been selling to my restaurants in order to make my same amount of money. So if we keep killing it at the individual level and the CSA, I'm going to check in with them. They just posted us today for the first time on their website for their ordering online. But if we do well through all of this, then I won't have to take any time off at all. I'll be able to just keep chugging through. It'll be a little bit more work, but none of us are afraid of more work. And I don't know what it is, but we've always just had a really strong following locally. So thankfully, Knoxville and East Tennessee in general is very big on supporting local agriculture. Tennessee in general, I mean, if you look at our state emblem, our state seal, it's commerce and agriculture, right? We're very focused on commerce and agriculture. Very, very pragmatic people, the Scots-Irish and the rest of the people who move here that are like-minded. So the contamination problems we have had has been from the spawn we have ordered. Yeah, that's right. You're right, Jason. So I don't know what's happened, guys. Norspore is a great company. I've always said that people should buy from them. But here recently, every time I ordered from them, I got contaminated spawn. And I know a bunch of other people are having trouble with their spawn. Maybe they've got it fixed now. But that's actually why I switched over to making my spawn entirely in-house and ordering cultures in and doing that, because I was just having so many contamination problems from the big spawn producers. So, And he said, Andrew has made a good clean culture that we sell. Yeah, my chestnut culture is kicking butt. Michael Lee says, well, from my experience, there's a thing called I like to call the sucking factor. Bags start out fluffy, then the mycelium sucks the bag against itself, and then they start to metabolite, sign to fruit. There you go. Yeah, that's exactly right. They start to kind of shrink in on themselves, and then start producing that metabolite, and it's ready to go. But I will tell you that those bags produce the most mushroom pea I've ever seen. So, dang it, Andrew, you have just inspired me to go plant a few hundred sunflowers, tomatoes, and peppers. I've got thousands of seed I run each year. Got to go get supplies, change transmission. Chango transmission detected. Yeah, absolutely, man. How do these Chango transmissions work? So, here, guys, if you want to know a little secret I'm going to do, I haven't really told anybody this yet. The tomatoes and stuff that I'm selling are going to be myceliated with wine cap spawn. And I'm going to be able to show people that they're already myceliated with wine cap. So when you plant your tomato plant in your bed, you're not just planting a tomato plant, you're planting a wine cap culture, which should fruit in the spring and fall. So, I've got that going in liquid culture right now, big time. I've got spawn being made up of it right now. So when that goes in, I will have wine cap myceliated tomato and pepper plants. Do you have the Curtis Pyre Lion's Mane strain? Man, that thing just runs, and it's thicker than other strains. No, Jerome, I do not. Would you like to get that to me? Maybe a trade? I might be down for a trade. All right, what am I going to plant next? Joe says, thanks, Wagaman. Yeah, Jerome, email me. I would love to get a good lion's mane strain. I've got the one I've got right now. I really like compared to any of the other ones I've ever grown. But I have never found a comb tooth that holds up as well. I mean, a lion's mane has hold up as well as my comb tooth strain and the bear's head. So. Yeah, Justin, I thought you might like that. I wasn't going to tell everybody because, or at least not yet. So I was going to try to keep my edge a little bit. But be careful on doing it by the seed. I find it's better to let the plants grow out a little bit and then inoculate, if you're doing a soilless seed starter mix. Wine cap grows great in a soilless seed starter mix. Which my soilless seed starter mix is 2 parts peat moss, 1 part vermiculite, 1 part perlite, 2 parts water, and a handful or scoopful, if you're using a small hand-sized scoop, of cow manure compost. And I use the KOW stuff from Lowe's. And then I use hydroponic nutrients after the plants start growing. And that's for my plant starts, really. For my seeds, like what I'm doing today, just the broadcast trays, I actually don't normally put cow manure compost in there. But for some reason earlier, I thought that I did, and I just lost track of stuff. Mainly because I'm out of practice, guys. I've been focusing on getting the mushrooms going to the warehouse point, and I really wanted to focus on that stuff. And I'll tell you, it's like the one year I decided to really sit down and focus on, the one thing I'm good at, mushrooms. Then that's when all the shit hits the fan. So I am a little late in what my normal yearly routine looks like, but not terribly late, so we're good. Nice on colonizing those plants. Thank you very much. I'll post a pic of it on the Facebook group. Yes, Jerome, please do. I would love to see it. Ever heard of a double isolate transfer? Yes, Michael Lee. That is the way mushrooms are often normally bred. Most people don't actually do the spore streak method like I do. And then the isolation just straight from that. Andrew, I love to be here live, but I got to go get supplies and seed starting trays. You're freaking awesome, dude. Thanks. Yeah, Justin, take care, man. I'm actually going to be signing off here in a minute anyways. I'm starting to run out of steam. I'm sure you guys can tell I'm not as excitable as I once was, but I'm going to do at least 1 microgreen tray while we're here, and then maybe I'll shut it down then. got me some black wool sunflower seeds. And then I usually just take them and I fill the very bottom of the tray with a single layer. And then I'll put my seed starter mix over them. Put another tray on top. And let them sit and then just mist them and check on them once a day. As soon as they start breaking through that surface of the seed starter mix, I then put them somewhere where a fan can be and keep blow air over them, but then keep the bottoms, their feet wet. And what I have found is that keeping the bottoms of their feet wet, but having a fan blow over them, really knocks down any mold growth that may or may not occur. So. It's a fish and wrench and an albatross. I believe the albatross is me. So I've heard that people use the Tyvek and have really good results with it. I personally am liking the metal lids and the syringe filters. So that's what I use. You're very welcome, Michael Lee. I don't think Michael Mama has a channel. At least if she does, she hasn't said it to me. Is she even still in the chat right now? I haven't heard from her in a while. Michael Mama, you there, darling? Jen? I don't know, but she's pretty badass. All right, ooh, that's a nice looking tray. I would pick you up and show you, but I'm filthy. I prefer the syringe filters as well. I use Tyvek on some of this. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people excuse me, have a lot of good results with them. But I don't know. Kind of like this surety of having of that syringe filter. They are easy to RTV in. I know that they're rated. They're treated as if they're going to be, a medical grade thing. So they're treated with a little bit more care than Tyvek maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Tyvek is easy. Well, the syringe filters are pretty easy too. Just use a drill press and the properly sized bit. They'll click right into place. It won't be airtight, but you use that RTV silicone. Just put it around the filter. In fact, I can do a video on that one day. It's really easy to do. I can pump out lids all day long. Jason and Laura, that'll be one day. And in like 5 minutes, we made like 50 lids. It's 40 or 50, something like that. I didn't actually count them. So don't take me as gospel. For all I know, it was 20, and maybe we made 5. I don't know. Do your syringe filters ever show a condensate on top? Ever? No, not really. Tyvek's free. Yeah, I guess you can get it free, but Jason said we'll be selling lids soon. Yeah, that's actually something I'm working on right now is I need to get some more metal lids because I am out of the metal lids to make more. But I do have a fair number of lids. I'm just trying to get all my LC taken care of before I start selling it off or anything. Didn't really what? You can come inside if you want to, babe. I was just letting you guys know that if you don't go outside and play now, there's going to be storming all day long tomorrow. So. Just posted a couple spawn jars to the Facebook group. Awesome, Jerome. I'll take a look at it. How about using Tyvek and your grain bags when sterilizing and pressure cooker? For putting a sleeve in to help with contaminants when cooling. I've never found it necessary, man. The bags will seal themselves if you keep the gusset nice and straight and tucked under itself. On some of my LC jars, it looks like condensation is forming. Could be problem. So wait, you mean on the syringe filter, right? Like in the top part, not the bottom part? Because I get condensation on the inside of the glass all the time, like on the plastic syringe filter. Hey, Brim. No, Wildman, I've never used azomite trace mineral for my seed starter trays. I do have azomite. I got it for the cordyceps, so keep the change, you filthy animal. What are we talking about, Jason? All right. That right there. Should I do 2 trays of sunflowers, or should I just keep starting seeds? I've got 3 trays left. Yeah. Really? You guys are going to waste this glorious sunshine? No video games. You can go do something somewhere else. You can be inside, but you cannot play any more digital electronics. No. Yes, the plastic top part of the syringe. No, okay, so yeah, I've not noticed any condensation in the top part. So if you're all right with it, I will email you the link to a video of my pneumatic problem. I can send a $50 check for Ben for his advice on this, or order some LCs in exchange for request. I mean, yeah, man, we can figure it out. Just send it to me. I don't mean the money. Just send me the video. If it's an easy problem to solve, we'll just do it, man. If we got to do a whole lot of troubleshooting, I'll charge you for that. But otherwise, man, I'll answer questions for free. And if you feel like it merited a financial response, then I won't say no to something offered. But I'm not going to leave you guys hanging if I can help it. Just remember, fish for sport only. Fish meat is practically a vegetable. All right, Ron Swanson. Though I agree. I can crank out lids when we're stocked on supplies. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. Like, it'd be so easy to crank them out. It's just saying stocked because it's so easy. Maybe I should just go ahead and post the lids. I mean, we got a few already made up. It's not like I can't order the supplies at the same time that we post them. And if we get more orders than, than what I've got immediately, then we'll have them in just a few days, kind of thing. Fish are our friends, not food. That's not true. Fish are friends and food. Because what's the better friend than the friend that feeds you? All right. Well, guys, I think I am done live streaming for now. I am tired. I'm going to get these finished out. I've got 2 more trays. And then I am going to eat some food and go help Samantha at the market, the roadside stand. So I'll give you guys 2 or 3 more minutes. I've got a jet. I'm hungry. Look forward to the package in the mail. My kids are maybe more excited than me winning something off YouTube. Yeah, that's cool, man. I'll get it. Make sure you get your tracking number. Well, this is a new venture you're on, networking. It's almost like the Jetsons TV without the flying cars. Yeah, right. And you're welcome, Jerome. Oh, man. Well, you guys take care. I'll see you on the flip side. We'll do another live stream. Like I said, guys, expect more videos coming out very soon. Just don't expect the same kind of quality for the first little bit while we're trying to get everything going. We'll have, I'm going to do some more TR Davis style videos of just walking around my op and shouting at you guys a little bit. And then from there, we'll go, as things settle down, I'll get more and more involved in highly produced content for you guys. Just during this all hands on deck period, we'll go down. So if you guys need anything, please email me at mossycreekmushrooms@gmail.com. Follow me on social media. You got Mossy Creek Mushrooms on Instagram, Facebook. You got Myco Miner on Instagram. That's my personal one. I just take selections from my day-to-day life and go there. And as always, y'all, remember, Keep spawning culture.